Hello. Sorry, everyone.
My skiff just fell over.
Your pardon? Your what fell over?
My skiff just fell over.
Hello, everyone. We're down to Shabby at the moment. He's late, so that's why we thought we were having technical problems. So we apologise for being 5 minutes late, but we were too busy chatting to the guests. So we've got some good guests tonight, haven't we? So
you might have heard of them. You know,
you might have. They've got small YouTube channels, I think. But yeah. Look, all these people in the chat. Wow.
Welcome everybody. We've got
this chat's like jumped loads. So let's find where we go.
It started about an hour ago. I don't know.
Oh, it is. Yeah. There's just loads. I'm just going to randomly pick people out here, I think. So
random selector.
Oh, I've lost it. So.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
I'm just gonna have to. They've been chatting for about 10 minutes, so. Hi, Kieran. Kieran
Ball. Hello. Scuba.
Hi, Scuba. How you doing? Connor's there. He said hello to Jason. Jason's there. There's Marky D. Hello, Marky D.
Hello.
There's loads of people here. I'm just gonna. This is unexpected. I apologise. Hi Des. Yeah, I've got a new camera as well, so it's a bit clearer tonight. So.
You're like a fisheye lens. You can see more of your background.
It's a bit clearer, isn't it? Yeah. I'm going to jump just right to the end of the chat because it is crazy, everyone. I apologise, everyone. I'm just going to randomly put some people up. Hi Tim. Thanks for coming. Only one can know. There's loads.
I loved his Yoda impression video the other day. That was.
Oh yeah, he's doing it. Yeah, Simon Richardson. Hi, Simon Richardson.
Right, Simon.
Oh, it's Tim. Hi, Tim. How you doing?
Mr. Hayes.
Hello. Oh, Rick. Hi, Rick. How you doing? Rick. Oh, there's me saying we will be there in a minute.
Yeah.
Thank you, Biker. Look at that.
Yeah. Oh, it's. I just want to say happy birthday to Steve. Lord
Steve,
yeah. Steve.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
21 again.
Ooh. 21.
Or is it? Times it by 2 and add 11.
Oh Lord. Evening. Hi, Gavin. Oh, Gavin's here.
Do you think Shabby's like doing? He's been told off by Jen and he's doing.
I don't know. He was all big. He's got faster internet. He's been telling us all week, hasn't he? He's got the fastest internet he can find. So, and then he's not here.
I know.
Yeah.
Gutted.
I bet he's. It's life, innit? Life gets in the way, doesn't it? So. Yeah, I mean, when I tried to do my streams on it, I was having trouble for so long, and eventually it works. Yeah, you got sorted out. Hi, Baz. Good evening.
Bazzer.
I'm catching up with the chat here. Yeah. Oh, evening, Lake. Thank you.
I wonder if you got back from York. I think.
Yeah. That was a great picture we saw today in the chat, wasn't it, of him and his brother, his identical twin brother. That
was nuts.
It was weird. Yeah, it's identical. Yeah, I think his brother should come on and do a video one day to show and just pretend.
Yeah, he sounds just like him as well, apparently.
So. Yeah. I was BOE. Good evening, BOE.
All right, Gay.
You're all right. Oh, evening, Dave. How you doing? Yeah, I'm doing.
Awesome. Oh yeah, I've got something. Well, I'll show it in a minute. DTM sent me something. So.
Evening,
Luke, that was a good rap. They talked a little bit about Rambo First Blood last night.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Oh yeah.
You can just have one.
I've got some KFC.
You can just have a few chips. No, you're not allowed any of them.
Just a few chips. That's some chips.
Hashtag get beatboxing man on. Can we get beatboxing man on? Beat.
When Josh talks about beatboxing man, he needs Nick to know.
Josh, say hello to the world. Say hello to the world, Josh.
Nick's coming on next one. Right. Josh, what's my other laptop? So? Right. Do you want to go and have that? He's been down to the gym.
Hi, Brian.
Do you?
I have no abs.
Hi, Ted. Hi there. Welcome.
Oh, can I have another one?
Children.
That's the popcorn chicken. Oh.
That's all I'm saying. Children.
This is good, though, isn't it? Yeah. Hi, Josh. Hi, evening, Josh.
Hello, Valvano.
Look at this. You've got a fan club, Josh.
Look at this. Yeah, you got a fan club.
Look at
Okay.
this. Look at this, Josh.
Hello, Josh.
Yeah, look at this. Everyone loves you,
Daniel Chart. You met Daniel, didn't you, at the
Yeah,
Yeah, we go.
Hi, Matt. Hi, Matt.
All
Hi,
right,
G-Force.
Because we haven't got Shabby here, Josh is the next obvious other host.
Don't touch my fries again.
Oh, there's no gravy on these.
You have gravy chips and chicken.
Oh, you've got chicken strippers. Yeah. Hey, Josh. You got
Josh. You've got a fan club, Josh. You got a fan club.
Yeah, I know. Fortnite boy. Yeah, Fortnite boys.
Oh, there we go. Where's that?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna share this. Share this tonight. There, you know, Fortnite figures.
Yeah.
Right, do you want to say goodbye to everybody?
Bye, man, babies.
Bye, man, babies.
Oh dear.
Oh,
yeah.
Dear.
Okay. It's completely free with that. Children. That's what I say. I don't have any.
Yeah. I need to get a lock. I need to get a lock on my door.
You do. You need to get one of those red lights on the on the door. You know those red lights. It says
live. Live. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Sorry, but I keep bending over. Sorry,
we got two brilliant guests coming on, but what have you picked up this week? Anything? You got anything?
Yeah, okay, here, make me big. Make me big.
Okay, all right, hang on.
Supersize me.
You like saying that?
I like saying that. Right, what I got? I have not got merch. Thanks to David's tip off last week about House of Fraser.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're having a toy clearance. It reduced from £30, which is, you know, quite pricey, to £15. So I got two now, and he's staying on the card. So you know,
what was he? He's staying queuing on the card.
He's staying on the card.
The rumours there's another Boba Fett coming out, isn't there?
Oh, there's always another Boba Fett coming out.
Always another Boba Fett. Always another Boba Fett.
It's been about a month since I bought a Black Series, so you know.
Yeah.
You know, I suppose I collect them now, don't I? So
I guess you do.
And Dave DTM, the lovely mucker, he because I've got the I've got the Super 7. I've got like 5.
Oh yeah, you like that?
I didn't like them at first. They don't transform, but like, how many Grimlocks can you get which transform? And these are nice, cartoon accurate. And Dave said, "Oh, well, I've got one. I've taken it out. I'll send you the loose one." He sent me the card as well. So, but I got a Starscream, and I didn't realize he comes with a mini Megatron. So
that's cool. That's cool.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, DTM in the chat. Thank you very much. And I got a brand new laptop today as well, but it's a work laptop.
All right.
It's not mine, but it's exporting a TV program down there, and it's very hot in here.
I bet it is.
I've got an Apple Mac.
It's a bit warm here as well, Tez. Yeah. I'm sweating a bit there.
No, I've got my Apple Mac, I've got a Windows Surface, and I've got Premiere Pro. I mean, I edit on many platforms, but I haven't used Premiere Pro in 12 years, and I'm having to edit, and it's like having to run and put your shoes on and tie your laces at the same time. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Tim Bossbank said just tapping the shoulder a minute ago. Oh, he's
yeah.
Oh, is he in? Is he in the UK now?
Yeah, he just grabbed toys for the UK with his
everyone's saying hello. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I love Super 7. Oh, it's cool.
Yeah, they're good. They've got so many good stuff, haven't they?
Yeah.
I saw someone had the Alien Super 7. Who was it?
Right.
Imperial Communique had the full set of the Aliens Super 7. Yeah, they were pretty good.
Okay, right. I'm going to show what I've picked up this week. It's only a couple of bits. So just a couple of bits. And of course, I've got this new camera now. It's weird, isn't it? It's making it sort of
it's
weird,
fisheye lens.
Fisheye lens. Yeah, it's a bit weird. Yeah, we've all had the new the new Origins figures come in. Stinkor. So yes, it's cool, isn't it?
Yeah. What does he smell like?
I don't know. I haven't got him out yet. Can't smell nothing through the. No, I've heard people say it's not as strong as the original. It's never going to be as strong as the original ones.
Does it smell of He-Man's undercarriage?
Oh dear! And of course the Beastman as well. I picked this guy up, so he's pretty cool. Lords of Power, isn't it? Lords of Power, pretty cool. Always love the backs on these. They're good, aren't they? So.
Yeah,
I love the backs. Yeah,
timeless.
Bit of retro Marvel. I picked up the Silver Surfer. So,
I've not seen
anyone I've got. It's anyone I like from the next wave. I sort of pick and choose from that wave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that from Smith's? Was it Smith's Toys?
No, online I got this one.
Online.
It was Star Action Figures I got it from. So yeah, look at that lovely thick card, bit thicker. Yeah. Come on, out for Star Wars, get the same idea.
Come on. Tracing paper.
Yeah, and last but not least, I've got barbecue. Look at that.
Oh, nice.
It's nice, isn't it? Everyone's been getting this one really easy. I don't say it's nice to. Yeah, because these Cobra Island ones are always the ones that get hard to get, aren't they? But this was really easy to get, so pretty chuffed. With it. So, yeah, there we go. There we go. It's weird, but it's weird without Shabby again, isn't it?
I know we can hear it. I have to turn the volume down every time he talks.
I know. It's just we've got the same volume. It's nice, isn't it? So, So I think we're pretty much done. I think we should get the guests on because everyone's been waiting for the guests, haven't they?
Oh yeah.
So you're going to miss out, Shabby. It's a shame, isn't it? But, right. We're going to get one guest on anyway. I can see an empty chair.
He's not having a pee again, is he?
Did he say he had to feed the cats or something?
Oh, he had to feed his neighbour's cats. Yeah.
Dean's back. So
Dean's back.
Right. Yeah. Both ready? Yeah. Both ready? Yeah. Okay.
Thumbs up if you're ready.
Yeah. Dean's lubricating. Is he ready? Yeah.
He's got his vintage pint glass out, has he?
Right, here we go. Let's add him.
Dean, there we go. And Michael. Michael's got snacks. Michael's got snacks. Oh, I know what they are. Yeah. Anybody ready? Jelly lady?
My whole ensemble, my whole thing tonight is in honor of your live stream. So
thank you.
I'm wearing my RAF Spitfire jacket, my actual, battle dress. Got Kylie Minogue as a Jedi on my shirt. Very unique to. And I've got my jelly babies. So let's do this. This is gonna be fun.
Okay.
Brilliant. Well, thanks for you guys for coming on. This is we've been looking forward to this for a while. So
it's an honor.
It's been rumored, but now you're here. So it's great.
Yeah, well, it was a while ago. I think Michael popped in and said, "Oh, I'd love to come on." So why not?
Yeah.
Dean's always a brilliant guest. So thank you, Dean.
And I bet you we'll all be upstaged by Shabby when he finally arrives.
Yeah, everyone waiting for Shabby. Yeah. He's good at that. He's good at that.
Yeah.
So guys, what have you picked anything up recently? Anything cool?
Dean, would you like to go first?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't have them to hand because they're being stored very safely in their boxes, but I did break down and make an incredibly expensive purchase with the Hot Toys Adam West and Burt Ward Batman and Robin figures. So at the time I made the purchase, I hit buy it now and felt immediately sick given the costs involved. Having had them and opened them and played with them, I am over the moon to have these in my collection. So I can't show them just now. I can show you something quite interesting on the same topic. Now, you may recall that Tree Theodore very kindly sent me the McFarlane Batmobile for 6-inch figures, right? Remember that. This is made for 6-inch figures. Now, it was suggested to me that I should look into the Mattel Batmobile made for 6-inch figures. I looked into it and I made the purchase. Now, this is Mattel's version of a 6-inch figure scale Batmobile. Now, to give you some context,
very similar.
Well, yeah, but similar, but
yeah.
I'm just going to make you bigger, so you can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Substantial, isn't it? Yeah.
Quite different, actually.
Yeah.
And of course, if you're following the sort of nonsense going on with trying to obtain the McFarlane figures exclusively from Target, I don't think they ever went on sale on the website. And they've been showing up in stores, and of course, they're now on eBay for 4 or 5 times retail price. I actually had to buy mine from Australia.
Obviously.
So my figures,
as one does. Yeah.
So in order to buy the figures, I had to go to Australia to order them, and they're actually on their way as we speak. But once again,
Brent owes me a trip. So if you ask Brent to fly your stuff back to you, we're even.
Yeah. And the funny thing was, when these were announced earlier this year, I did a video saying, I'm quite worried that this will be a problem with it being a Target exclusive. And what do you know? It was a huge problem.
Always is.
And the funny thing is, though, Target, I think it was last week, announced the Cowless Batman figure as a pre-order. And that is still available as a pre-order for $18. So I was checking the website daily, looking for the Batmobile, the Batcave, and the figures. They were never available. And then I clicked on it one day, and boom, the figures were sold out and unavailable. But then the following day, they appear on eBay. So,
well, that's strange.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll get them before some ones from America? I guess they were bound to get them faster. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, people already have them in America because they were.
Oh, do they? All right.
They were on the shelves in Target stores.
Okay.
They are unavailable to buy from the Target website.
Oh, all right. Yeah. So if they're in the store, you're lucky. If you're not, usual thing, isn't it?
And then what they've done as well is they've added a few Chase figures. So there's a Robin without his mask has been showing up in stores, like 1 in every 100 figures or something like that. And there's also a Joker with, I think he's wearing sunglasses. So they've gone out of their way to make it impossible for the completist to complete his collection. Wonderful.
Yeah. Well, Kieran's asking, are you going to get the Batcave?
Yes, I am. I'm not going to give any more away, but yes, I am getting a Batcave.
There you go. So that'll be a video to come, I guess, won't it?
Yeah.
Good video.
Yeah. And I have a couple of items arrived today that I'm not going to show.
Yes.
Because if all goes to plan, I can make this item even more special if things go to plan next month, and then do a wonderful giveaway. So.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Nice. I did allude to it in a Twitter thing the other day. There, I may be attending my first ever convention.
Oh.
Maybe. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you got to do it. You'll meet some of your followers, I'm sure.
Well, I don't know.
Or you'll get tapped on the shoulder. Hey, you're the guy.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah, just like Tez, when he was walking around Plymouth, someone said, "Oh, that's Tez. Can I have your autograph?" You're on a Universal Shabby reviews stream.
There's not much going on in Plymouth, really. It's like,
well, since we've got a Doctor Who thumbnail style tonight, which is done by brilliant Tez over here.
Sorry, that was great.
Just all the brilliant thumbnails.
Inadvertently, Doctor Who, but yeah.
And we know Michael's a bit of a Doctor Who fan, isn't he? So we're all we're all big Doctor Who fans. I thought we'd all say what our favourite Doctor is and favourite episode or actual,
Did you want me to tell you what I got this week, or are we gonna?
Sorry, yeah, sorry,
no,
Mike.
that's fine.
Sorry,
no. I just want to make sure.
Sorry, I'm completely thrown tonight. Shabby's really thrown me tonight, so I'm So
that's all right. He'd be throwing all of us if he was here right now. He'll get him for a loop. And Biker Scout 74, I get that piece of cake reference, and you have good taste in television, sir, and books. So here's what I got this week. So first I'll go through this quickly so we can get to the Doctor Who discussion. So first I ended up getting the revised He-Man and Skeletor from the Origins lines. So they have the solid swords, and they have the revised heads, and their swords are solid.
So Michael, did you buy these in a store, or did you order them?
I got them off Amazon. They were actually retail price. They were like...
I've seen that, but I'm just worried that I placed the order and they send me the modern head ones.
If you bought the ones that were $12 and $14, you'll be getting the ones I got.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Perfect.
Your Skeletor's bubble might completely be off the card when it arrives, but the thing is that the Skeletors, for some reason on the revised, I've been finding in Sal found that they have weak bubble glue, which is fine by me because I open, so whatever. So I got those. And then I went and got some vintage stuff this week, some vintage Star Wars. So I have the European and European Obi-Wan.
Nice. Oh yeah.
And I have the Palatoy Greedo now, complete with his vintage blaster. And then from the same week, not from the same place, but the same week, I ended up picking up the Lil Letty short mouth biker scout.
Nice. Yeah. Not mind that one. Yeah.
And this won't surprise anybody in the chat or in the stream. It was too nice to pass up. I got myself a very clean Hong Kong Bespin Luke Skywalker.
Oh, nice. Nice eyes too.
Yeah. So I think one of his eyes has a little bit of slightly heavier paint, but he's not like the Obi-Wan I've got that looks like he has a black eye. So
does his grip is a laser any better with that version? Because he's a bit limp-wristed on.
You mean on your vintage example? He's got a limp grip. What I like to do with my this is why I put I've always done this since I was in high school. I tuck the blaster into the arm that really isn't usable. Yeah. And people have asked me before, they're like, I didn't know Bespin Luke had a holster. I'm like, that's not a holster. I just stuck it in the crook of his arm. And then I utilize the hand for the lightsaber, because if you leave the blaster in that hand, it eventually widens out, and then the lightsaber just falls out. Yeah. Well, then the other hand, you can jam it in there, but it doesn't stay. It just kind of...
Because as a kid, you would get the Darth Vader, and you'd get Bespin Luke, and Luke would always lose because he'd just drop
his lightsaber just fall, which much like the film. But it's just got to come off. And then lastly, this is my last thing, and I don't know if my headphones will reach this far, so I'm gonna take my headphones off.
Okay, all right.
This arrived today.
Oh, you're talking about that.
Is that the Playmobil?
It's the Playmobil. Awesome, doesn't it? Wow. That's awesome, isn't it? Yeah.
That's got to be.
I've seen pictures of it out of the box, like on a coffee table. It does look awesome. So, it looks awesome.
I can't wait to open that up. But I've got a big video I've got to finish first this weekend, and then I'll open that up and deal with it.
That's going to be a cool video watching that, I guess. So. Brilliant.
Awesome.
Just want to go to the chat and just see who's in here. Someone's. Oh my. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. You wouldn't see Hasbro doing that, would you? We'd have to wait a couple of years for that. So.
We'd pay for it. We'd pay for it, and it'd be late. And
that's right. It does.
A lot of fun.
I can't wait. I can't wait to look at this because for decades now I've always said it seems like it's an impossibility to actually get a action figure scale Enterprise, and Playmobil is like, hold my beer. And they did it, and I'm thrilled, but what I'm hoping is, I know this is a long shot hope. I know it is, but I bought this because I'm really hoping that if this does well as a limited edition, that maybe they'll revise it to do the movie version and and put it out again, and then I will get the movie version and then gently sell this to a friend. And the movie version, yeah.
Next generation you as well. You could.
Oh yeah, right. That would have even more room.
Ship. Yeah.
Bird of prey. Because, lovely.
Jonathan Redmond. I am not worried about the knee joints on this Enterprise, but good one.
The stand will be okay.
Oh, I love that T-shirt.
Knees honest.
I wish this T-shirt was still available, but apparently I was the only person that was able to get it before Disney pulled the posting. So
pallet is it? Oh yeah. Playmobil kick. Yeah, they are. They
really are.
Yeah. They got James Bond car coming out in the 18 van.
And the 18 van. And I've bought 3 of the DeLoreans, and I'm waiting on my Part 3 Advent calendar because I've got one as Part 1, one with the Part 2 parts on it, one with an additional set of Part 2 parts that are waiting for the additional Part 3 parts to make the Part 3 version. So I think Playmobil is really doing amazing stuff right now. They really are.
You still own your DeLorean, don't you, Michael? You do, don't you?
I do.
I want to ask you: do you actually just sit there and just stare at it sometimes? Like
lately, that's the only thing I can do. Melinda's in the chat right now. I'm sure she's rolling her eyes, but it's the car is having a fuel leaking issue that we've been trying to chase. Right. But I've been so busy with the YouTube channel since I started doing it full time that.
Yeah.
Melinda wants me to actually take it to a local. I do all the work myself on it, have since I've owned it, except for AC. I don't do AC, but other than that, I do it all myself. And Melinda was like, well, you need a lift to do the work you need to do now because I don't have a lift. And she said, you just need to take it to this mechanic and have him give it like a full once over. And I'm like, yeah, all right, whenever we get around to that. So it's sitting and, it's had it because it sat so long, even though it still cranks up just fine. It's, the clutch went out because the seals dried up, and I just got to do some work on it. But it's pretty. Yeah. She's pretty. Yeah. That's the great thing about it. That's the great thing about a DeLorean. Even when it's not running, it's fun to look at.
Yeah. I say, does it give you more joy having it or not having it? I would say.
Well, it was a life quest. It was like a life quest at the time. Although it's not my favorite car in the world.
All right. Okay.
It's in my top 3, but it's not my favorite car. My favorite car is unattainable to me probably for the rest of my life. I'll never own it. I could have afforded it in college, but now the prices have shot through the roof, and now especially they'll never go back down. And that's the 1987 Aston Martin Vantage. That's my favorite car of all time.
Oh yeah, crazy.
Timothy Dolan Bond car.
But man, when I was in college in the late 90s, I would look them up on Auto Trader and stuff just to see. And if I had been in college, you got no money. But if I had the money in my corporate job just a few years ago, then I could have bought 3 of them. Wow. And now they're like, crazy nostalgic through the roof. Between Top Gear's episode on it several years back and now this Bond movie, it's done. You'll never be able to touch them again.
I don't know if you heard. I like the Maserati Boomerang. Have you heard of the Maserati Boomerang? Yeah, it's sort of that. It's still got that sort of DeLorean sort of aluminium sort of look. And it's all very 70s, 80s. Yeah,
that's a beautiful car.
It is. It's got like a really clever steering wheel with stuff in there.
But talk about having to like custom fabricate every part you need to work on that car. I mean, like a DeLorean has like warehouses full of spare parts because John DeLorean was crazy. And he was like, they were like, our company's failing. And he's like, double production. And they're like, what? And then, so he ended up with all these spare parts. But like a Maserati like that'd be like a Lancia Stratos. It's like, what do you do when something breaks?
Yeah.
That's my number 3 in no particular order. So.
I got it wrong. Stainless steel. I apologize.
That's fine. You said the aluminium look. You didn't say it was made out of aluminium. So
you didn't say aluminum.
sorry to interrupt. We have another guest. There's some bloke called Shabby. He's actually he's turned up now. So
cool.
Should we add him in? Should we add him in?
Yeah.
So why not? Here we go.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, boys.
You're right.
Hi.
Just move Dean over there. There we go. Let's get it right. There we go.
How is everybody? What have I missed?
You completely thrown me tonight, Shabby, not turning up. I was a bit sort of...
Oh no, we had I was fine. I was all prepared, and we had a bloody customer turn up, and it was a big job, and I thought, oh no, of all the time, so work gets in the way. But anyway,
yeah.
Hello, Dino. How are you, pal?
Shabby? Very good. How are you?
Good to see you, Michael. Our test.
T-shirt.
Oh yeah! Oh, Jeff found it. Look at that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
And,
So what are we
again,
talking about?
and again, Shabby, thank you for your cooperation.
Oh
yes.
This is eight.
I was just asking Michael about his DeLorean. So if he just stared at it.
One of them, honey.
I gotta get it working again, but it worked great for 4 years. But she'll run again.
Yeah.
She runs.
Is that a ball like to maintain, Mike? Is that a ball like to maintain one of them?
It is. It's a car that you do it for the love more than the practicality.
Yeah.
I mean, like if I just told them if I had my druthers that wouldn't be the classic car I would own. I would want the '87 Aston Vantage. That would be my. But there's no way there. Like I said, I could have afforded it in college because the prices were real low, but I didn't have money back then. There's no way to afford it now. So whatever. It's fine.
I remember the Vantage. That was what was he called? Not Pierce, but it was the one. It was
Timothy Dalton.
Timothy Dalton. Yeah. That was it. Living Daylights. He had a Vantage in that.
The skis on and
the rockets with the reticle. I've had a few optional extras installed. Yeah.
Hey, can I just show you all something? I got one of these mini TVs. I'm in love with this thing. Dino, have you seen these?
It's the Batman 1966.
So what it is, it's a small one. It comes with this. I've just made a video of it, but it comes with this diorama like that. But I'll turn the sound down, Matthew, so we don't get in trouble.
Okay.
But hang on, if I can get it.
You get the TV show.
Yeah. So there.
There we go.
Yeah,
change the channel. It's great, isn't it?
For 6-inch figures, I think this thing is unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? It's absolutely fantastic. But it tells you all the thing, and it shows about 25 clips. But what this one does, it actually plays the full Batman theme. Are you watching?
The Warner Brothers,
Dinner. That's so cool, isn't it? Yeah.
So where did you find that?
And it was in Walmart, believe it or not. I couldn't believe it. I hid a G.I. Joe. That's what I did. And I hid it behind Lego. So I went in to get the G.I. Joe. And then as I was there, this fella was putting these out. Because I've been in for the past 4 days, and all the cardboard boxes with all the toys in were all down the house, and they weren't even put out for 4 days. I actually pulled G.I. Joes out of them. So anyway, we went there yesterday morning, and then this guy was putting them out, and he put that out straight away. I thought, oh, I'll have that. So yeah, awesome. Can't believe I found something, to be honest. So
yeah,
nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
24.95. I say
there's not much on telly, is there? So you've got you can watch that anytime.
Yeah.
Going back to the car thing, does
all right.
Dean living in New York, you mustn't have a car. It'd be insane.
Well, no. Here's the thing. When I was working at the last job, I leased a car, and it was the biggest money pit you've ever met in your life. I had the car for 3 years, and I did a total of 5,500 miles. However, as things stand, there's no way we're going to travel anytime soon. So I've been looking at cars again. But what's happened is, because of the shortage of these certain microchips, new cars are selling for 10, 20 grand over sticker price. 2-year-old cars are selling for the price of what a new car should be selling for. This is the worst time in the history of man to be looking at cars.
Yeah.
And part of me wanted to get a dream car to enjoy for maybe a year or two and then sell it. And I was, because, everyone knows that the plan is to go live in Thailand.
Yeah.
Because it's just so damn cheap. I'm so happy there. So following a set of unfortunate circumstances, that being my parents passing on, I had to sell the family home, blah, 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 blah. And I'm waiting to invest in something in Thailand, but in the short term, I'm thinking, what if I had a dream car for a year or two and just really lived it up? But I saw a video on YouTube of a boy who bought his dream Mercedes AMG, and I think he paid 75 grand for this new car. After 6 months, he thought to himself, you know what? I think I want to change. He went back to the dealership and said to the dealer, okay, what will you give me as a trade-in? And they said, we'll give you 45. So he lost 30 grand in 6 months.
Always the way, yeah.
So I'm like, that's not a smart move.
Yeah.
What would your dream car be, Dino? What would your dream car be?
Well, honestly, it's not too excessive. It was the Audi TTRS.
Nice. Oh. This has an Audi.
Well, yeah. It's not top of the range. It makes a funny noise when you go too fast. But I thought you were going to say red Lamborghini because I thought you were going to get like a sideswipe or a Sunstreaker.
No.
That would be lovely.
I'm very realistic. The TTRS sells for about 75 grand in America, but used ones are selling for like 72 grand.
Cool.
So you could drive it for a year and only lose a couple of grand.
Yeah.
But for me, what scared me the most was the threat of carjacking, because that's a pretty big thing in America, especially in New York.
Yeah. Well, you just get those. Like in South Africa, they have, because carjacking is massive in South Africa. Yeah. They put flamethrowers at the side of the car.
Yeah, flamethrowers.
Back away from the car.
Yeah. That's when you want that thing from the advert from RoboCop, isn't it? When the guy gets in and he gets electrocuted in the side.
Magnavolt.
Yeah, that's it. 6,000 SQS.
I love those adverts. They're brilliant adverts.
I love that advert because the guy's like, he pulls the door open and the dead body comes out and he's like, Magnavolt. No embarrassing alarm noises. No need to trouble the police. And then he gets in and cranks up. He's like, and it won't even run down your battery. And then he just drives off.
But you know what was quite funny was my leased vehicle was this Jeep Renegade Dawn of Justice edition.
Yeah.
And it tied in with the movie. And on the back of the Jeep had the Batman badge with the Superman logo inside the Batman logo.
Oh.
It was so cool. But to me, that was the biggest marketing bunch of BS I've ever seen in my life, because there is no way Bruce Wayne would ever drive a Jeep Renegade.
No, I don't think you would.
Rubicon, lovely, Matt. Very nice.
Very nice.
In the movie, they actually used the bottom of the range Jeep Renegade that he drove.
All right. Oh.
Yeah. That was like a $25,000 car. And millionaire Bruce Wayne is going to drive that? I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
Mine's, I've always said it's the 79 Trans Am or the 77. It's whatever Burt Reynolds drove, I would kill for that car. And I've said it before on the stream. It would be worth getting a speed ticket, because the police officer chasing me, it's going to be just as much fun for him as it is for me. I fly past him. Think about it. I fly past him at 9 miles an hour, and his friend says to him, "What's that?" He goes, "That was the Bandit." You joke. So he's going to love it. So it's a win-win for everybody. And when we go to court, we pay our fine, the judge is going to say, "What's actually happened?" Well, the Bandit. So I followed the Bandit. It's a win-win. It's a win-win.
And you'd have a CB radio, wouldn't you?
True story. I actually had a cop This was back in 2009, 2010. I'd driven the DeLorean just to work on a Friday, and I drove it home. And when I got within a mile of the house, a cop started following me. And I thought, oh no, did I roll through a stop sign, or what did I do? And then I go he never turned his lights on. I turn into my townhome complex. He turns in with me. He follows me around the back, and I'm like, oh no, is this a fake cop? Like, is he going to, and then I get out of the car and I said, hey, officer. And he's by my house at this point. He goes, hi. And I said, have I done something? He goes, no, it's just, you never see one of those. And I just had to know, like, where you got it. And I'm not trying to, and we had this long conversation, and he talked about his Firebird and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, man. You missed out, though, because I would have gone, you were doing 88 miles an hour. You know what I mean?
If that car could get to it, yeah.
I was just seeing if you time traveled.
Oh, yeah, there was one time where my buddy Joe and I it was at night, and I didn't know the alternator was going bad. And we pull up to a red light, and we're waiting for the arrow to turn green. The arrow turns green, and I press off the clutch to go, and the alternator was going janky, and I didn't know it. And so all the cabin lights and the headlights went way bright, and I went, whoa, and I backed off, and the thing went, whoosh, and I'm sitting there idling. We missed the green light, and Joe looked over at me, and he goes, did we just go back in time? And I'm like, shut up, Joe. Just shut up.
Awesome. Yeah.
Right, Jack.
Hello, Django.
Hello, Jack. Good evening.
A question for Tez and Matt.
Okay.
Does the UK focus a lot on horsepower? Because in America, we have the horsepower wars with like Ford, Dodge, and Chevy. And I think, to the best of my knowledge, I think Dodge are winning with their Hellcats.
Oh, beautiful, isn't it?
Like the 800 horsepower vehicles for sale,
I don't think we do really. I mean, Jeremy Clarkson might sport that idea, but yeah. I think it's
more economy now, isn't it?
I think there's in the lady drivers sort of range. You see the new Range Rovers. You'll get this, Matt. There always is a white Range Rover, and I live in little tiny Devon. There's the roads are tiny, and then these driving round, and they're driving at you, and people in the UK, people park on the pavements and stuff.
Oh yeah,
and all of them are blonde-haired women with Gucci glasses on in a massive white Range Rover, top of the range. I'm not jealous. And then I'm so important with my little 6-month-old baby in the back, and it riles me up.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Like, if Jeremy Clarkson got in a Hellcat, he would love the power, but he would then say it's a vulgar car that's for murderers. That's what he would say. Yeah. Like, that would be like the joke on the back of it, because of watched all of Top Gear, you'd kind of know where he falls. Yeah.
It's like,
that's true, Matt.
How many children can I reverse over before I've known?
Right.
But it's one of those things, though. I mean, especially growing up in England, when you come over it, I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why we've said it before, lads. All these US TV shows for us were awesome because of the cars. We never had those cars growing up. Right. We never had the General Lee. We never had Trans Am, Firebird, Corvettes, GMC trucks. Do you know what I mean? The Bronco. We never had any of these. So when we're watching these US TV shows, it's like these cars stand out more to us Brits, I suppose, or Europeans than they did to Americans, because we're like, look at that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'll never forget Facey's Corvette, the white one with a convertible with a white stripe down it. I mean, red stripe. I loved that thing as a kid because we'd never see them.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. There's that weird reversal, because when we're growing up in the States in the 80s, right, we get not only the Bond films where we don't see those cars over here unless you live in, like, ritzy parts of New York and Connecticut or California, which I did not, or we get the Transformers G1 lineup, which was all Euro and Asian cars that didn't make it over here.
Datsuns,
so and you're looking at like the Nissan Vanette or whatever it is that was ratchet, and then you get the Lancia Stratos, and you're looking at them going, these are awesome. I don't know what they are though. I guess they're fake, Then you find out they're real, And then if you're like me, you get obsessed with foreign cars instead. So
yeah. Do you remember? Can you remember police boxes when we were kids? I can kind of remember one of them. I remember I remember one in the Lake District and one on Pendle Hill was a police box on Pendle Hill.
That's right. That's what I remember.
There is actually a new police box that's actually in Boscombe, which is near me, and they use it for like police to actually use. So, and it's in Boscombe, and it's been on the news and everything, and all that Doctor Who fans when they actually put it in Boscombe, all surrounded it and had loads of pictures with it. And it's still there, so and it's in pretty good nick. No one's vandalised it yet. Yeah, it's a nice dark blue. So it's
they kept the colour, didn't they? Yeah.
Shame we don't have our red telephone boxes. I mean, I know in London they're putting them back in, and obviously no one uses a payphone anymore. But like, it's nice to see that
the collector's items now. The red telephone boxes, aren't there? There's a guy.
Yeah, they love the thousands. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He owns a load of them, and he exports them all over the place. Doesn't he? So,
I just remember.
Should I say this? Should I say this?
Oh, you
go.
Thanks to my father, I have a red telephone box, an authentic one.
Wow.
Yeah. My dad bought 2 of them while we lived over there because then in the early 90s, that was when they were kind of phasing them out. But then they started to realize, oh, wait, these are historical pieces. But my dad bought 2 King George Crown police or phone boxes and brought them back to the United States. And he's given one to me, which has never been displayed. It's still wrapped up in its, and he's given the one that's been on display in his house to my brother. So yeah.
Well, that's awesome. There's a friend of mine who makes stormtrooper armor, and he moved to France. But I don't know how, but he found a red telephone box in France. It's a UK one, but it was in France. So he's got it in his garden. And it's by the main road, and he's got a mannequin, and he's put the stormtrooper armor on it. So the stormtrooper's in there on the phone. So you get all these people driving by in France going, a telephone box, and then they go, there's a stormtrooper in it.
Me and our side's got a friend in Blackpool that has the same thing. He's got telephone boxes in his Carl Nicely, if you're watching. Do you remember him? He's got telephone boxes in his garden and so forth. Yeah. They're awesome. I love them. They're iconic, aren't they?
Yeah, my mate takes pictures of people stopping and having pictures with it and all sorts. It's great.
C'est le stormtrooper, je ne comprends.
I just remember the phone boxes stinking of cigarette smoke.
And
yeah.
And also having sort of melted perspex glass where people would stub out the cigarette mid-conversation.
But think about it though, in cities, how friendly were telephone boxes in major cities like London, because all those girls' phone numbers that they left to keep you company, they were awesome. Do you know what I mean?
There was always a spat out lozenge on the floor, like half tube, like half sweet.
It's showing a great example of the UK, is it?
Yeah.
I remember being sick down that one in Preston. Oh, beautiful day.
Oh dear. Well, we were going to talk about Doctor Who, so I think let's do it now. Yeah. So we were going to you missed it, Shabby. We were going to talk about who's our favorite Doctor and favorite episode. So are you okay with that? Okay. Yeah,
cool.
So who wants to start? I should be keeping an eye on the chat for now. So Tez, do you want to start?
Oh well, I'll be very short because I have not watched the latest series of Capaldi. I watched, and then I just not because I've just I blame YouTube and you guys because I've not. I don't really watch television anymore, but probably it's probably one of my as a kid. It was Doctor. It was the one that scared me the most. I think it was set in Aylesbury. It was Doctor Who and the Bloodstones when the Michael might remember this one. It was just these stones. Which
yes, it had Tom Baker and Mary Tam as Romana, if I recall.
Yeah,
right?
And it was these stones would just appear. They were like the shrieking. What they call the shrieking statue? What the angels? What are they called from?
Tones of Blood.
Yeah, the Tones of Blood.
Yeah. Yep. And Mary Tam was in it as Romana, and K9 was in it. Yep.
Yeah, and there was this sort of witch doctor with horns. That always sticks out to me. And the episode when Tom Baker regenerated into
Peter Davison.
Peter Davison was just awesome. It was that, because he had such a how many years did Tom Baker do? It was like
7 6 or 7. Yeah, 7. Yeah.
Is he the longest running one then? Is he the longest running one, Tom Baker?
Yeah. And it was just that, because I just about remembered. God, I'm old enough to remember John Pertwee at a very early age, but just I think they were repeats. That episode, he turned into Tom Baker, and not Colin Baker.
Oh, Peter Davison.
Peter Davison. Because I used to watch All Creatures Great and Small, and he was a young doctor. And it was he was in his cricket gear and all that kind of stuff.
That's why he's my favourite, because of his cricket. I love Pete Davidson.
Was it broccoli or no? Was it broccoli on his?
It was it was a celery. It was a celery.
Celery, yeah. That's my kind of era. That sort of like late 70s into sort of 80, and then it was always just a shame what happened to Colin Baker. The way that series got. Sort of the ratings were going down. They changed script writers, and and then when he manifested into
Sylvester McCoy.
He wasn't. Colin Baker wasn't even in the episode. It was just him in a wig.
Right.
But the one that made me sort of hide behind the couch was the Bloodstone episode. Yeah.
That's the shame about Colin Baker, is that he didn't want to have that costume or even play the Doctor that way, but he was super excited to be Doctor Who. Like, he wanted to stay in the role as long as Tom Baker, if not longer. He loved the show. And yet the showrunner at the time had these wacky ideas about how he wanted things to go, and Colin Baker just did his best. But the cool thing is that the guys at Big Finish, who do all the official Doctor Who audio dramas that you can listen to, they got with Colin Baker early on, and they're like, we're gonna massage this and work with you. And now Colin Baker is like one of the best doctors ever. If you listen to the audio drama. So
it's easy for me to say that what scared me the most, the leader of the Daleks. Oh, my life, scared the bloody pants out of me as a kid. Oh, I've never seen anything so frightening in my life. Half Dalek, half bloke. Forget that for a laugh. You know what I mean? Bloody hell!
I would love to see Davros in a fight with Captain Pike from the Menagerie, because they're both in those chairs. And it would be like bumper cars.
That movement you're doing now, I think that's the other thing too, because it'd jerk like that when he turned, and I was like, oh man, this is frightening. Do you know what I mean? So I always like Pete Davidson. I think Pete Davidson was mine because I remember his TV show as a kid. I remember that Doctor Who. I remember Sylvester McCoy a little bit, but Davidson was the one I actually remember.
Yeah. He was the guy that admitted that he never quite felt like he was in step with the role. He never quite figured out what his Doctor was all about. And Patrick Troughton, who played the second Doctor, had told him when he was about to take the role, because they knew each other from the stage circuit, and he said, look, he said, when you take it, he said, just remember, if you're dedicated to being a character actor and you're serious about your craft, he said, it's a good show. He said, but don't do it more than 3 years. He said, because that way you won't get typecast. And so he said, right as he got to the end, and he was in Caves of Androzani with Nicola Bryant, who played Perry, the really cute actress who played Perry.
Gorgeous.
Oh, yeah. When they did that episode, which is one of his best, he said, I finally figured out the character. I finally felt like I could really dig my teeth into it. And really, I really felt like I was rolling with it. And I realized, and here I am doing my dying scene. So he's
I've got it.
Yeah, I've got it. Oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
That's pride.
Oh, brilliant.
I think you sorry,
actually, maybe skip past me because I'm about to go feed some cats upstairs.
Oh yes, you got to feed the cats, haven't you? Up for yes,
yeah. Just waiting for this alarm to go off. And,
It's got to exactly be on 4 o'clock, is it?
Yeah.
Well, Dean, I'll cover for you.
Yeah. What I will say is I am cheating because I had to call this up. So from my memories of Doctor Who, I do remember John Pertwee, I remember Tom Baker, Peter Davidson, and a little bit of Colin Baker, and that is my extent of Doctor Who.
Okay.
And there's the alarm. So be right back.
It's an alarm.
It's like a Nickelodeon game show. I'm waiting for slime.
That's like the other advert in RoboCop, isn't it? When they play that the battle and it's like and the explosion, isn't it? Nukem or something? I can't remember.
Dad,
you got to remind me, boys. I can't remember Colin. Which one was Colin Baker? I can't remember that one.
Colin Baker was the one. He looked like he was wearing a patchwork quilt. He looked like he was wearing a patchwork quilt outfit with yellow pants, and he had curly hair, blonde curly hair.
Got it. I know you're very flamboyant, Doctor. I know you mean.
Very mid 80s. That was.
Yes.
I know exactly you mean. Was he any relation to Tom Baker, or was it just a coincidence?
No, it's total coincidence. But he was really, really good on a TV show drama. I don't remember if it was BBC or another channel. I think it was BBC, called The Brothers, which was before Doctor Who, and it was all about these two brothers that had this. They ran this corporate empire together, and it was all about what they did to climb the ladder of business. And so he was sort of noticed for that. And so when Peter Davison left, Colin Baker was actively campaigning to be the Doctor. Like he loves that character. So it's a shame that he ended up only doing it for 2 years, but it's not his fault. It's because the showrunner had these stupid ideas about where to take the show.
Yeah.
And,
the trial of the Doctor, it was like 12 episodes, wasn't it? It was.
Yeah, he only had like 2 seasons, and there was a hiatus between the two. And it was really crazy. Yeah.
Oh no, Red Dwarf. I love Red Dwarf. Love it.
I saw Red Dwarf in the States as a kid on PBS.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I saw the episode called Backward, where they're on that planet where everything runs backwards. So good, good.
What was it? The young ones. Well, we all grew up with the young ones, didn't we? I mean, the young ones is a staple, isn't it?
Me and my sister can recite the young ones. It's classic.
So what made you big in the States then, Doctor Who? What was your first Doctor over here that made us go, oh, what's this show? Do you know what I mean? Was it the early 60s ones or?
That's the funny part. Are you talking to everybody or just me?
Everybody.
Oh,
you're an American young man. Let's talk to you, sir.
No. What I meant was I thought you were referring to my time in the UK. And I was
over here, Michael. How did Doctor Who get big over here?
Right. Over here, from what I understand, when they did it in '63, their idea was we want a sci-fi show for kids that's going to entertain them, but also educate them about history. And so they were going to come up with this doctor that moved through time. And Verity Lambert, who they hired to produce the show, she was told, look, here's the deal. The showrunner, who's Canadian, the executive, I can't remember his name now, but he was all for the show, but he said, I don't want any robots. I hate robots. And they were like, okay. And so they went off and did the show. Well, the show aired the same night that the news broke that JFK had been killed. So the show got run over in the ratings by that event. So they reran that because they had so much faith in it. They reran it and were able to get more people to finally see it. And then they kept going with the season. So I was always under the impression it wasn't until like the Eccleston era that it came big in America. I didn't realize it went back all the way from the 60s. No. In the 60s in the UK is what I'm referring to. In America, it landed in the 80s on PBS, and or late 70s, early 80s. And they started with, I believe, the Tom Baker episodes because those were the super popular ones in the UK several years before, and the BBC was licensing them out like they do. And America saw the ratings, and they were like, let's pick this show up. So PBS got it. I caught clips of it as a kid, but I was real little and didn't really know what I was looking at. So I'm convinced I've seen scenes from Pyramids of Mars as a small child, but didn't know what I was watching. Like, I thought it was just like Masterpiece Theater or something. And so I just kept going. But yeah, it was big over here. The Chicago Doctor Who convention in the 80s and 90s was a big deal. And I had no frame of reference for it, but my friends like Mike Alonso at Clobbering Time and stuff were big into the Doctor Who scene here in the States, and they were very aware of that stuff.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Josh.
It doesn't work. Dean's not here. He's been sick.
Is he Beatbox Man?
The Beatbox Man isn't on tonight, darling. All right, Ed. You can't play Fortnite because I've got this on.
I know.
Okay.
I can't play Fortnite.
Someone's doing Fortnite.
Oh, but, yeah. But going back to sort of like, you know, because now the episodes sort of the modern episodes, they've got like state of the art CGI, which I don't find very threatening. And are you scared of Doctor Who, Josh? No, he watches Doctor Who. He doesn't get scared, but it was the practical effects, like the chicken wire covered in foil and painted green. That stuff scared the crap out of me when I was. It was physical. It was physical.
Like Melinda will tell you, I am a big wimp when it comes to bugs that you can hear skitter. So any bug that's big enough where you can hear it go, I'm like, ugh. Well, the first episode that I watched, my very first, it was still one of the best. But what a mistake. I decided to watch Ark in Space, not knowing that it was about these giant bugs that had infested this space station.
That was
with the big antenna and
antennas
the
huge beatbox
man.
There's Beatbox Man. All right, I know it's Beatbox Man. Josh, you let him echo, so yeah. Right, Josh, do you want to say goodbye to everybody? Josh,
goodbye, Josh.
Goodbye, Josh.
Goodbye, Josh.
Bye.
All right, bye, darling.
Bye, Josh.
Say goodbye. Bye, man, babies. He's not my son. He's a little one. No, you can tell.
Tez, you need to buy a lock.
Sorry, guy to Doctor Who aliens.
That was my first episode, and it's one of my favorites. But it still creeps me out. Like even though the bugs are made out of like chicken wire, and they have a nice paint job over them with paper mache or anything like that. But the craftsmen back then they knew how to use their materials. Like it was a very, very nicely done alien. You could just tell how it was done. And but it's creepy. It's really creepy. It's like these are bugs. Like there's bugs, and I'm like, don't crawl in that crawl space, and all that kind of stuff. So I
love that. And Ark in Space has got bubble wrap around his arm, isn't he? And it's painted green.
The green bubble wrap. Yeah.
Bubble wrap was just coming out then, and they were using it and everything, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's so good though. It's so good.
Yeah. My favorite is definitely Tom Baker. I mean, and probably Pyramids of Mars is probably my favorite. Yeah. It's such a eerie, very eerie, because that's that big house, and they've got the forest and the woods and those robots walking around in mummified. Such a cool one.
That whole era right there. Like I love all the Doctors, really, and but Tom Baker is my favorite by a nautical mile, and it doesn't hurt that Sarah Jane Smith is his companion through a good chunk of it, because she's my favorite character in Doctor Who. But the Pyramids of Mars, Ark in Space. I also really love one that I've actually had people laugh at me about. I love Planet of Evil, but people tell me that's a bad one. And I'm like,
that's a good one. That's a good one.
I love Android Invasion. So I just love the show, the dynamic, the way it works. And I even had a friend of mine in Cornwall, Ben, he's a good figure customizer. And so I have my fourth Doctor figure. Well, they hadn't made Sarah Jane at that point in the classic version. They'd only made her as she looked in the Tennant series. Yeah. And so he made me a Planet of Evil Sarah Jane Smith, sculpted the hair and everything to go with it. And but yeah, like she looks. I mean, she looks great. I mean, she looks. Doctor. And then of course afterwards, when he found out I was this huge Sarah Jane Smith fan, and he said, "Well, do you like Canine and Company?" And I said, "Yes, I do," which apparently is it's an uncommon answer. He made this custom figure for me, which is her from Canine and Company.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So
wow,
yeah. So I love Doctor Who as far as not just the show, the history, but also the action figures, the toys. Yeah. That they're so hard to get here. You have to. I'm constantly ordering stuff from the UK to get it over here. I mean, I know that's not as far, Dean, as Australia. So I submit to you that you have the tougher thing right now. Totally.
I know.
Yeah. So Dean, what are you collecting right now?
Well, that's the thing. You see, I go very much in phases. So I went all out on Transformers G1.
You completed that year.
I did that this year. Currently, m.a.s.k. I've done the vehicles for Wave 1. I'm now one shy of Wave 2. Masters of the Universe Origins, I'm all in on. I only started in April of this year by pure chance, where there was a new Target store opened up, and my wife and I walked there, and I bought a few items, and I thought at the time, I don't really fancy this. And then I looked into it a bit more. I thought, you know what? Count me in. So I've gone all in, and that's my current kind of focus. Although on Monday there, with the Mattel Creations exclusive sale they had, I managed to get a alternate Triclops and Sunman, but failed on the Horde 4-pack and the Faker with Duplicate. But honestly, if I can get the basic figures, I'm more than happy, because as a kid, I watched the cartoon, I loved it, I wanted the figures, but my parents said to me, by all means, you can have those figures, but that means you can't have Star Wars. And I was so invested in Star Wars, I said, you know what? Screw Motu, I'll stick with Star Wars.
Good man.
So now, some 30 odd years later, I'm like, you know what? I'll buy these damned Motu figures. And the best part is, in terms of me building a collection for display, nothing displays better than these brightly colored 5.5-inch figures.
I mean, they really pop. They really pop.
Yeah. I love them. Absolutely love them.
They look fantastic.
I just got in the mail. I got the new Triclops. It's in a box. I should have remembered to show it. It's in a box right here. I haven't even opened it yet. It's
cool.
But the odd part is that it showed up real fast, whereas all those PowerCon exclusives that I also ordered at the same time. The only one I didn't order was Faker and Duplicate. I managed to get the rest of them, and I got Sunman, but they're all back ordered till the earliest one ships in November. And I'm going, wait a second. If these are PowerCon exclusives, that means they should have been here this month for PowerCon. So why are they taking the rest of the year to get it? My Grayskull pack doesn't even ship until December, like 2 weeks before Christmas.
I
don't even understand that.
This is why the whole modern thing turns me off, because I've gotten seriously burned by these McFarlane Batman things. The Motu is, for the most part, I've been okay. I had to pay slightly over the odds for one or two figures. But if I'm going to spend big money, I'd rather spend big money on vintage stuff.
Yes.
For sure. I think it's pretty despicable that a company can announce a new item and only make a small amount, meaning that for the most part, the scalpers get hold of 90%, and the following day on eBay, there's your item for like 5 times the asking price.
That's the thing. When it comes to the scalpers, I don't know what you guys think, but I've always had a tug of war with that, because I go, well, with everything being so limited now and stores only getting so many of them, yeah, it sucks when a scalper buys them all up.
Yeah.
But some people say just be patient and wait. And in some cases, like with the Rise of Evil 2-pack for the Origins, the waiting paid off and a lot more showed up. But in some cases, you wait and you don't pay a scalper, and then the next thing you know, and at the time, the scalpers only got it $10 over retail. Well, if you wait and they never show up again, like with the last wave of Rogue One 3 3/4-inch figures back in the day, suddenly you're paying a scalper 3 times, 4 times the original price to get them. And I'm like, yeah, waiting. So sometimes I find myself, if I really, really want something, like Clamp Champ, when his wave came out with Ram Man, even though they're now available, I wasn't sure, and I was seeing pictures of people with them, and I said, I was like, I'm just going to pay a few bucks over from a scalper just to know that I get them, because I have no guarantee that we're ever going to see these again. This could be it for this wave. It's always a gamble, but a lot of time I'll walk away, because a lot of time it's like, well, I didn't really want the thing anyway. I was just going to pick it up if I could get it, like.
Yeah, I mean,
so
a couple of dollars more is one thing. I'll give you an example. I've always admired, like I've said to you before, G.I. Joe. I've always admired it. What a great toy line. What a great history of it. The vehicles, the action figures, how many there were. I've loved it, and I've never been in a position to get them.
Right.
And then obviously I went from 3 3/4 inch into 6 inch. Then they introduced the G.I. Joe line. So I thought, this is great. This is great for someone like me, because not only can I buy these 6 inch figures, they're all coming out. I can learn about this line. I can develop this line. I can find out the history of it. I saw 2 in the stores ever since they've been out. So, and this is what I mean. And then you're looking online and you're seeing them for $50, $60 for a $20 figure. It just kind of puts new collectors to a new line off in a way, because I'm like, I understand if you go to a convention, you'll probably pay $10, $15 more. I understand that. But what I don't understand is when we're talking about bog standard figures that should be on an aisle at the retail price from this company is $20, why I should be paying $60 for it when it's been out 3 months. That's the part where I think, well, I don't understand that. If the 112 line Black Series came out. Now, if I was finding one from 6-7 years ago, yes, I'll pay the $40, $50. It's not in production anymore. I can't. But when that Bad Batch has only been out since a couple of months, and everyone's wanting $50, $60 for a crosshair, you're like, it doesn't make any. That's the part that ruins it for me. It just doesn't make any sense.
I totally agree. Agree. Like, if these pre-orders don't come in for these Rogue One Black Series in a few months, I'm not going to be paying scalper prices for them. That's something where I can walk away and go, well, too bad, so sad for me. It's not like I don't already have plenty of toys, so I'll be all right. Like, I'm not going to be crying into my soup tonight.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about it. It made me laugh because I've been ranting about it all week. I've just had enough. This is, we all talk about nostalgia and the fun and, why we do this. And it reminds me of a kid. None of this reminds me of a kid. Pre-ordering doesn't remind me of a kid. And I understand pre-orders. If it's for a HasLab or it's for an exclusive, like you were discussing just a minute ago, you and Dean PowerCon, I completely understand that. But not $20 figures that I'm not getting till June. Right. We have an event and they're going all out. This is coming.
These are everywhere. These are on like sale. You know how much I effing love Fortnite. No, I don't. I hate it. It's in children's imaginations. I hate Fortnite. But the figures, like Michael said in his video last week, they're everywhere, and they're nice. That they come with loads of accessories. The posability is really nice on them.
Yeah,
I get them for Josh, but I guess he can put them while he's playing Fortnite. He'll put them on his desk, and then the weapons will get lost. And I'm like, oh, they know to keep the weapons.
Yeah.
But like it's.
I just don't like going to a shop and finding one. I like to do that thing where you go with your friend and you walk into and the other thing, we all talk. People said to me this week, well, Shabby, you're trying to compare Toys R Us with Walmart and Target, which aren't Toys R Us. No, and I agree. But what Target and Walmart should have done is gone, great. Our biggest competitor is gone. There is no huge toy store now in America. We can go all out here. And they never did. They never took advantage of the fact that Toys R Us had finished.
That's the whole thing, though, Shabby, is that back in the 90s and the early 2000s, and even back into the 80s, as someone who was here, as much as I wanted to be somewhere else eating really good fish and chips, Walmart and Target were, for what they had, packed to the gills. They were not. They didn't look like a Soviet grocery store back then. They actually had, they weren't like Toys R Us with the level of stuff, right? But like the Star Wars area at Walmart and Target and Kmart and places like that was full pegs, 4 across, 5 down, and you could go through them and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Those days, I love those days.
Yeah, so the toy companies.
Now I'm going into Black Series and just finding the one that's there. So it's not a case of I can pick up 2 or 3 and go, well, I know this one might be a pegworm and this one might be here for some. Oh, I love this one, and compare which one you want, like we did as kids. Your mum would give you a bit of pocket money, and you could pick one of 20 figures, but you only allowed the one, and that was one of the best parts. You've got them all in your hands, and you're looking at them, and now it's just like I'll pick that one. Why? Because it's there. Do you see what I mean? And we're not talking about filling Walmart and Target. We're talking about filling a section of an aisle. That's it. It's not, I don't know. I've been ranting about it all week. So.
No, dude. I've been ranting about it for 8 years, and I feel you, man. I really do. Here's what I've kind of realized in the last month or so. I've run everybody out of the room, opening my mouth. I've run half the stream off everybody. Sorry. Here's what I've realized: modern toy collecting for all of us as adults is a lot like trying to get what you need in a prison camp. Like it's one of those war films like Great Escape where you decide, oh, well, I just found Black Series Obi-Wan Kenobi, but it's a duplicate, but I know a guy in Texas who's got, a one that I need, but he needs Obi-Wan Kenobi. So we're going to trade, or the moment I see something I've already got, I start messaging all my friends. Do you need this? Do you need this? And the next thing you know, it's like trading cigarettes to a German guard to get a shovel. Like it's this whole thing. I don't get it. It's not what it was like when we were kids. And I just don't see how it's good business. I don't understand how the companies are even making money.
It's just got things here and there. It's like they'll turn around and say, well, the children don't buy them anymore. Okay, then take them out of the children's aisle then. Stop making grown men go down to a child's aisle to find them. Oh, well, people aren't doing this anymore. And you think, well, all you got to do is click on YouTube or click on Twitter and see the thousands of collectors that are out there. Do you know, it's like I wonder sometimes, are they doing the marketing here? Are they actually seeing who's buying this stuff? Every week me and Matt and Tez meet somebody new. Every week in this community that collectors that's come on board. But, when I'm paying the same amount of money for a figure that's been out 6 months to a figure I could have got 40 years ago, that's when I have the problem, It's
And I completely agree with what Matt's collection is saying right now. I said it myself. I said, if they're not going to fix the problem in the toy aisles, then they need to just hand over their distribution to mass toy online retailers who take pre-orders that then indicate how many the toy company needs to make to meet demand. Yeah. Don't do this pre-order thing where it's like, oh, there's only 10,000 and we're sold out.
I'm talking to Matt about the 4-pack Tuck Stormtroopers. Matt's there and he's ready for it. Did you get them, Matt?
Yes, I did. I got 2.
But at the start, you couldn't get hold of them, right? And you're saying that they were sold out, remember?
Yeah, in the UK, they would only let premium members buy them for the first hour. So you had to wait that hour to buy them. Of course, they were all sold out within that hour. They're going to be.
How can you sell out on a pre-order?
They put some more up the next day at a certain time, and I was there refreshing. So you shouldn't have to do that, though. You should really go out there any time and just pick some when you like. Yeah, shouldn't you? Really?
It's like people think I hate pre-orders. I don't hate them. I understand them. All I'm asking is, you never come out and tell us. Now, we can blame the pandemic, and I've said this before, but the word distribution has been handed at Hasbro for years. I remember conventions when they used to have the microphone and they'd walk up and have the panel. And the first thing somebody say, oh, well, we're working on distribution. So this was before the pandemic. This has been going on for years. Just tell me, if they turn around and say, right, Shabby, from now on, it's only pre-orders, fair enough. If from now on, it's only online, I'd understand. But when you get in your car after you've worked all week, and one of my favourite things to do is go into a store and find, and I can't find anything. Or if I do, I've only got the option of one or two things. Yeah. It's annoying, it's...
Yeah, the whole idea
that we said too much. We know too much. We social media too much. We know what's coming. We know what's on the horizon, and then it just disappoints.
It just, or do this thing where you have these events like they go on these events, Patrick and those other two, and they say this and say that. The next day, say, right, you've got from the 10th to the 15th to order this. You've got a 5-day period where it doesn't matter what time you order it, doesn't matter as long as you've done it between. Then if it's like the 16th and you haven't done it, I completely understand. Of course I do. Then you can pay secondary, scalper prices because you've missed out. But for them, for people like Matt to sit there the day after, knowing the time and then having to refresh over a pre-order that's not out till June of next year, it's so frustrating. It doesn't, and that's what put me off.
And that's what Jonathan Redmond is saying right now. He says Hot Toys have been using the pre-order to determine demand successfully for years, but Hasbro can't. And that's the whole thing. Like, if they did the pre-orders online to determine demand, you'd watch scalping end overnight after the first item, because scalpers would end up buying 20, 30 and only being able to offload maybe 2 or 3. And the next thing you know, they're like, oh, there's no money in this anymore because people can actually get in the pre-order window and get what they want up front. They don't need me to bilk them anymore.
No, but the same company will do this. They'll go, the Sentinel, $8,000. If we get 8,000, and as soon as it starts to get to 8,000, they'll go, no, wait. We'll add something else on for 12,000 if we get 12. That's the same company. Right. So they'll keep adding on tiers and adding on stuff to make a $500 toy more accessible. But they won't do it with the basically the toys that kept them in business for 40 years. Doesn't make any sense,
Yeah.
It's like shop. Yeah, where's my hat? There it is.
It's like Hasbro making
great shopping great again. Oh, that's Shabby.
Where did you get that? I
thought we were out shopping, and it was on this mannequin, and I said, how much do you want for that? She went, $1. I thought, oh, I've got to get it. But then yesterday I put it in a video, right? And it was behind me there. And I thought, oh no, it looks a bit suspect that if I don't. So I had to actually take a photograph of it and put it on my video.
You could have lied and said it was a Tom Hanks League of Their Own hat.
This is it, yeah.
Can I just say one thing? I don't know if I don't know. Dean's was never into his gaming when he was a kid.
No.
I don't know, Michael. But yesterday we had the passing of the Clive Sinclair.
Yeah, we did.
It's did you ever pick up when you were in the UK? I guess you were sort of the early 90s, weren't you, Mike? So I guess you pick up any of that British microcomputing? Like in the States, you had the TS80, which is like a Spectrum.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with the Spectrum and the popularity at that time of the Spectrum and the Amiga. Those were two that a lot of my friends had in their houses, and I never had them myself. But I would go to the Toys R Us, I believe, in Woking, and I would see the Spectrum cartridges, and I was cassettes, and I was collecting Star Wars stuff at the time, and I so desperately wanted the Spectrum Star Wars Empire and Jedi.
Hold on a sec.
Oh, here we go.
Nice biker.
I recently went up to my mum's and did an attic attack video.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure what was in the box of Spectrums, but there they were. All 3.
Oh, that's gorgeous, dude. That is sharp, man. That is very nice. Very nice.
And And they all still load on my Spectrum.
Nice.
But Ted, are those games double cassettes or single cassettes?
Oh no, they're single. Yeah, on this side you had the 48K version, which was just the basic, just with blip sounds, and you turned it over, and you had the 128, which had the Star Wars Spectrum music on it.
Oh,
nice.
Return of the Jedi being my least favorite because it was.
It's a cool game.
Yeah.
It reverted. It didn't have the vector graphics.
The best.
Yeah.
The best.
Yeah. There we go.
Now, were they the same games that were on the arcade one? Is it the same structure? The same.
They're straight conversion. I mean, these like I don't know, maybe Konami or Taito would bring out an arcade machine, and within like 2 months, it would be converted and in the shops on a cassette.
Dude, the fact that you guys had the Spectrum that converted them so well, we never had a decent conversion of those arcade games for Star Wars in the States.
Yeah,
nowhere. They were terrible.
The Commodore, you had them on the Commodore as well. Which but
the Commodore did not pull it off the way the Spectrum did. I'm just gonna. I think the Amiga. I think the Amiga.
Vintage toilet like that. What?
I think Amiga actually is noted for having done a port of the original arcade game the best out of all of them, but Spectrum wasn't far behind. Yeah,
it was. Because at school you guys had I guess it was in the late 80s, early 90s. You had the Nintendo and the Sega Wars. I mean, I love my Sega, love my Nintendo, and in the States in '83, E.T. was brought out on cartridge, and that was like, it's a terrible game. It's not a terrible game, and that caused it's the only game I can complete on the Atari. But like,
this is the E.T. game on Atari.
Oh. Where's the piece of foam? But in the States, you had the computer game crash from 83 to about 84, 5. But in the UK, we had all these teenagers making games in their in their bedrooms, and they would sell 1 million cassettes. We were sort of thriving in that. We didn't.
What was it easier to code, Tez? Is that what you were saying on our consoles?
I just think that the kids at the time just took the technology and ran with it. It was just you had these like 17-year-old kids who couldn't drive. They'd programmed a game. It sold out in the shops. It's number 1 in the charts for a couple of weeks. They tried, they bought themselves a Ferrari. They can't drive yet.
Yeah.
Why did Dean never play games? I've always wanted to know.
I was outdoors. Now, if you did a stream on BMX biking, I would be your man.
Oh yeah.
I was. If it wasn't raining, I was outdoors.
Yeah.
However, to be fair, I remember the summer of '84. My best friend's neighbor had a Spectrum, and we would play Jet Set Willy.
Oh yeah,
most days. And I just remember that feel of the rubber keyboard.
Yeah, dead flesh.
We were quite lucky because we grew up in Blackpool, so there was always, the Pleasure Beach. You had all those arcades. You had the beach. You had the promenade. I'm the same as Dean. I was never in. I was always out.
I was never indoors.
Dean, I've got to show you this picture of me. The guys have seen this on my BMX.
So wait to see this outfit, Mike. Wait to see this outfit.
Just wait. It's quite. I'm just gonna. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna put it. It's on my phone.
British kids BMX.
I had a mongoose, but I'm wearing a collared shirt with my helmet on. So but that was a mongoose. Yeah. That was
on your birthday. Though. You and your birthday suit.
It was my birthday. That's why I was wearing a collared shirt. Yeah. I didn't usually go out on my bike in a collared shirt.
I've always got a collared shirt on. So
I don't know how it happened, But in the last probably 20 years, I don't wear T-shirts. I don't know why.
I don't either. I mean, I do, but
I've gone the other way.
Yeah.
I wore suits for 25 years. Now I'm in nothing but T-shirts. Do you know what I mean?
That's
It's
your name, Shabby, isn't it? So yeah.
Yeah, that's where I got it from. So yeah.
So I've got to ask Dean. I've got to ask you a question then.
Yes.
Opinion then, and I believe from what you've just revealed, you and Matt both. Matt clearly has cred from the photograph he showed.
Yeah.
What is the better film?
Oh, I'm gonna say yeah.
Rad or BMX Bandits?
BMX Bandits.
Well,
yeah.
If you're asking my opinion, I can't give one. I've seen neither.
You've never seen BMX Bandits with Nicole Kidman?
No.
Okay.
It came at the same time as Jedi.
Thanks for coming on, Mike.
He's gonna send you. It's just that
Nicole Kidman.
Bandits. It was more about the two guys, the baddie guys who were chasing the lads on the bikes, and they were so funny. They were so fun, and they're just hilarious and slapstick.
If you would ask me about Andy Ruffle from Rally, previously from Mongoose,
BMX,
I'll give you my opinion. But honestly, Gaz Top, from ITV.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just
Rad.
Oh, what have we got there?
Blu-ray.
Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, I always forget about Rad.
Tell you what. I'll watch both, and then I'll do a video giving my opinion. But in all honesty, I was more about doing it myself than watching others do it.
Yeah. No, I get that. I just figured maybe because you were so into BMXing, you might have watched some of the films about it.
Well, here's the thing: here's a point I make continuously. I may be called all things 80s, but I'm very much my things 80s. And what I share are my memories and my experiences, which may not coincide with everyone else's.
Yeah.
But I'm very authentic about what I remember from the 80s. And I'm sad to say I never saw those movies. I will watch them. I'll do
nobody thinks less of you for not seeing them. It's just in the law of probabilities, knowing what your interests were. Because take for example, Tom Burgess from I Grew Up Star Wars, great guy. He was also a big BMXer in the 80s, right? And even though he never got to see BMX Bandits because it was a film from Australia, he was living in the United States. He's very familiar with the movie Rad because that came out at the very time that BMXing was really popular.
Right.
So he's kind of aware and knows the movie, knows about the characters. He's seen it. He even, like when I showed him the picture of the 4K, his immediate thing was crew cheated. I'm like, wow, like he's got opinions about this film. So I was just curious, like what you
No. So, I mean, I like to think that I don't follow any trends. I don't bow to peer pressure. I just say what I got to say. And everything I do is based on my memories. So, I'm
say to Dean, the first stream I went on, I shared with Dean, we talked about something, and at least twice a month I look for Kenny Dalglish milkshake.
Oh, I'm telling you, that was a thing.
It was. I remember it as well. And you can't find it anywhere.
I can still remember the carton. It was a white styrofoam carton with blue ink drawing Kenny Dalglish's face.
Yeah.
And it said, "Drink more milk for better teeth."
There was an advert as well. There was an advert. I can't find the advert either. I remember the advert.
Neither. But I feel like I'm going crazy. I've Googled this beyond belief. I cannot find any evidence, but I know it's true. You know it's true, and that's all that matters, right?
Yeah. No, I remember it. It was
Yeah.
So, which one's your favorite, Michael? Out of the two, BMX Bandits and Rad, which one?
I go with BMX Bandits because there's more of a story.
Yeah.
It's a simple story because it's a movie for young people, but at least it's a motivated story. Whereas Rad is not a bad film.
It's more about a race, isn't it? Racing.
It's just about getting in a race and then doing the race and then watching Lori Loughlin bicycle dance in a gym. That's weird. There's all this weird stuff, but I think BMX Bandits. Also, I'm going to be completely biased here. I like the Tufts wheels and the way the bikes look a lot better in BMX Bandit. So if we're going off the bikes look so much more choice in BMX Bandits. Yeah.
So they had Skyway wheels in one movie and not the other. Is that right?
I'm not sure.
Skyway not mag wheels.
These definitely have the mags on
mags.
Yeah. This one, I don't think he does. I think he's just got the spoke wheels.
Right.
Okay.
Well, the thing as well, I was more into BMX freestyle as opposed to BMX racing.
Yeah, tricks. Yeah.
Just doing a ramp. Jump over your mates.
Yeah, which if you really like freestyle and you like 80s music, the BMX prom dance in the gym with the bikes is your mileage may vary.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, at school, we had a BMX disco where they had
a
BMX summer disco, and it was outside. There was a disco inside the sports hall, but outside there was we built a ramp and we built a hoop, and we had BMX 84 made of paper. We painted it, and we jumped through the hoop and smashed through the paper, and we had everybody doing endos and cherry pop peppers and things like that.
Valley choppers.
Tez, cherry picker was very difficult.
Oh God, no one could pull that off.
Yeah. They tried the cherry picker.
Yeah, it was.
But the best thing, I remember from an old ITV show where they were showing off these old stunts, and one BMXer, I forget who it was, it wasn't Andy Ruffle, but it was someone else, said, this stunt is called the cherry picker. And the lady said, why is it called the cherry picker? He says, because it picks your cherries.
Cherries, because you're literally on top of the bike.
Because you had your crotch over the frame of the bike.
Yeah.
Dean, did you actually make your friends lie down, build a ramp and lie down and jump them as well?
Of course.
Because you just didn't care about it. You get a BMX land on top of you.
In fact, as late as the summer of '92, we were doing some really insane jumps that could have landed us in hospital big time.
Yeah.
And we're talking, a jump lasting at least maybe 10, 15 meters, because we were going so damn fast on this ramp. Yeah. And we are so lucky to be alive because because bearing in mind, there were girls watching.
Oh, yes.
Of course. So that spurred us on,
Yeah.
But that honestly, that was probably the best time of my life doing those stunts on a BMX.
Yeah.
And that's why when people ask me, what's your ultimate holy grail? Mine is either a rally team burner or a Skyway BMX bike.
Or Skyways,
yeah.
What's the one that Luke Reynolds is building? What's he got? What's the BMX? Rally burner. That's it.
Team burner. Yeah.
Yeah, the white and the white.
He has the wrong wheels.
Mushroom grips.
Yeah.
Mushroom grips. Yeah.
Does he know that? Does he know he's got the wrong wheels?
Yeah, he knows
now.
Dean's told him.
It was so boring, sort of like the turn of the 90s, and everybody started buying a mountain bike. It's like boring.
Remember Kickstart? I do remember Kickstart.
Oh yeah.
I used to love Kickstart. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
Mr. Nerd Drees here. Hello.
I did.
Yeah.
Have a say hello to the dude. Yeah.
It's a shame we're all going to die, obviously, and then
cheers to this.
Tess.
What
are you doing?
No, but there's just going to be historians talking about what we went through. You know what I mean? It's like,
what, me, you, and Matt? Historians are going to talk about what us three went through?
No, you know what I mean. It's like there's not going to have experience. It's like our granddad's playing your transistor radios and their love for that. And
okay, so I don't have to tell you guys. I don't have to tell you guys what 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown is.
Oh yeah.
But there's one episode where I'm trying to remember the comedian who was on the show that night. It's not important. Anyway, her mascot comes up. Jimmy asked what your mascots were. Her mascot comes up, and it is a replica leg bone of a prehistoric Neanderthal man. And she puts it up here, and she sets it on the table, and she says, "I've brought this here to remind us all that none of this matters." and so I thought of that when you were talking about how we're all going to be dead, and people are going to be talking about the history of it. I'm like, I just see Tez with a leg bone. None of this matters.
Great granddaddy is a leg bone.
This bone is when Shabby danced on a Friday.
Right. Oh, someone's been asking in the chat. I forgot to answer. Gravy. Gravy's my choice of chip. Yeah.
There you go. Say no more. Did you hear that, Matthew? Gravy on chip.
Yeah.
But not fish and chips, because that's weird.
No. Just if it's just chips.
Yeah.
Gravy.
Yeah.
Would you put curry on? You put curry on fish with chips, wouldn't you?
Well, for me, when I've got fish and chips, I freely admit, if I'm holding it, and I've got it, in the tray and everything, sometimes I'll just be like, just give me those chips golden brown, just like they are. Yeah. Other times I want the lemon or vinegar on it. Vinegar is a big deal for me.
Lots of vinegar.
Yeah. Nice. Mm-hmm. I have to have it solid. Drowning in gravy. I'm pulling it up, isn't it? Do you know?
Well, yeah. If you've just got chips on their own, then yeah, absolutely, go crazy.
Well, even on a sandwich, remember you get half a loaf of Warburtons and you'd put your chips and gravy on that. You know what I mean?
A chip butter.
Yeah.
Chip shop style. Look at that.
Look at that. Oh, is that vintage?
This is what you want.
Does it float?
It's where it's at.
No, is that a 40-year-old bottle? Like, is it fermented? Like, what happened?
No,
it's new. Okay.
Almost. This arrived last year, but there was 2 of them from my brother in Scotland. I've been saving this one. It's not open yet, but this is where it's at. So so in Scotland, there's a big divide. The East Coast has sauce. The West Coast has vinegar.
Yeah.
Why not both?
For me, sauce all the way.
Especially brown sauce. On a bacon butty. You've got to have brown sauce on a bacon butty. You can't have red sauce on it.
Shabby, this is HP on steroids.
Yay! Awesome.
This is where it's at. Honestly, the best part is when I was growing up, we could never buy chippy sauce from a store.
Yeah.
Now this Gold Star brand are bringing it to the supermarket for £1 a bottle.
£1 £1 a bottle.
£1.
Wow.
Fantastic.
I know. Our side tends to be Daddy sauce. I've always liked Daddy's and HB. Me always, but I've never heard of Gold Star, so even better.
Sorry, Dean.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He prefers the look of the 6 spokes.
Oh, getting technical, very technical.
We've gone from spokes to sauce.
My kind of chat.
Back to gravy again.
What I don't
cheese. We got cheese.
What I don't like now is you go down to Cornwall where the fish are jumping into your chips. And you ask for mushy peas, which is mushy peas should be
the fact you have to ask is not right. Yeah, I agree.
They're not mushy peas aren't the same. They're posh mushy, but they're crushed peas. Mm-hmm. They're not mushy peas.
No, that's not the same.
Not the same.
I actually like a minted pea puree. You'll try that. That's nice. Yeah.
Well, I was delighted when we went to Walmart yesterday, and they still had Coleman's mustard, so I bought some more. I thought that was the one up, and they still got it. They still got it, Dino. We're still there.
Powder or paste?
Coleman's.
We have the powder at home.
Yeah, the powder. I'd probably do the paste, maybe. Yeah.
I got to tell Tez this. So back in 2019, when we went back to the UK for 2 weeks for holiday, we went to Port Isaac. We spent quite a bit of time in Cornwall, but
good pubs there.
Yeah, we went to Port Isaac, and that afternoon, of course, I had fish and chips for lunch. And we were getting there about 30 to 40 minutes before the restaurant closed for the lunch period. And I ordered my fish and chips, and the lady came out, and she was very nice, and she said, "Hey," she said, "I just wanted to tell you we seem to have run out of mushy." And I looked right at her, and I went, she goes, "Do you still want the thing?" And I said, "I want it even more now." I said, "Because I said, "You have just given me the best news you could have possibly given me about the meal that's coming my way." I said, "I didn't even know they were included, and I'm so glad they're deleted by default."
Okay. Yeah,
you know? Yeah.
Oh no, you can buy them in tins over here, but like they're just not. I wouldn't. They're like no. Like I can see where you're coming from, Michael.
Do you English lads get white pudding?
Yeah, we can do, but I found out black pudding is banned in the States.
Yeah,
I know. I know. Gutted.
Ridiculous.
Why is it banned?
Because it contains blood.
Unsanitary.
Pig's blood.
Oh.
Boss Bant is exactly right. Sausage sandwich, red sauce, bacon sandwich. That's exactly.
Yeah, HP. I have HP in my bacon sandwiches. It's got to be HP.
Yeah.
Our Tim's exactly right with that one.
I am very much opposed to ketchup. It's too sweet. It resembles blood. I don't like it.
Salt and vinegar, dude. Yeah, salt and vinegar's not bad.
Yeah. I'm not a ketchup person. I never have been.
No, me neither. It's horrible.
Do you drink the brew, Iron Brew? I'm guessing he's saying, yeah.
Of course I do.
I've not had Iron Brew in years.
Every Christmas, I have on Amazon for way too much money, but it's worth every penny spent. It's delicious.
I go around to my mother-in-law's, and she's always got a few cans in the cupboard. So when I go around there, I have an Iron Brew.
Michael, do you ever drink Iron Brew?
I don't think I have.
No, apparently, in the whole world, there are two countries where the national soda outsells Coca-Cola, and that is Scotland, and I believe maybe Chile or Colombia. Their national soda outsells Coca-Cola. But in Scotland, everyone drinks Iron Brew.
Oh, well, then
I'm getting old English to talk Scottish. Do you remember? From Gallagher's. That's what we did as kids. From Gallagher's.
Made from Gallagher's. It's Bars Iron Brew.
All right, dude, I'm getting some then. I'm going to get some. What do I have to do?
Hold off. I'll get you some, okay?
Okay, because I'm a big soda fiend. Yeah.
I don't know how you would explain the taste of Iron Brew. Would it be like...
It's unique.
It tastes like rusty nails.
No. It's got that fizzy texture of cream sodaed. Do you don't want to say cream soda? But then it's got it's like the same colour as Tizer. If you remember Tizer, Michael.
Well,
Tizer,
But
my favourite was always dandelion and burdock. I've had dandelion, love dandelion and burdock.
Pepper,
No. So lucky.
There's a whole scandal in Scotland about Iron Brew because of the sugar content. There's some law that was passed that said that Iron Brew must not contain this much sugar. So they had to make a light Iron Brew, but on occasions they do a special retro Iron Brew with the sugar.
It's just like a national fizzy pop.
Yeah, it's haggis banned.
Haggis is banned. Yeah.
It's not banned.
Why is black pudding banned? I don't understand it.
It's
blood. Because they don't want us drinking or consuming blood.
Yeah.
Haggis we can still buy in cans, but it's damned expensive. Like I'm talking like $15 a can of haggis, and it's okay. It's not the real deal, but it's the best we can do.
Can I have a pork
pie? Isn't canned haggis the next album from Wet Wet Wet? Canned haggis.
Wet 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 was Marty Pello, right?
Yeah.
I was
wishing well.
No, he was like wishing I was lucky. I was wishing I was lucky. Hang on.
Wishing I was lucky.
I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my bones.
Yeah, it was
love is all around.
Love is all around.
Right?
Here we go.
Oh, what movie was that? And it made it massive. What film was it? Was it Love Actually or
Four Weddings?
Yeah,
Before
Love
Weddings.
Actually.
Four
Love
Weddings?
Actually. Yeah.
Here we go.
Love Actually.
Black pudding and other blood cakes from around the world, such as toshi from Taiwan, are banned due to the US sanitary reasons.
Yeah.
There's no hope for Scottish. Oh, there's hope in Scotland that Trump will never ban this. That's old news. Old news.
I know what.
But actually, to be fair, now because of my wife's Asian origins, I've had congealed blood as a food item, and it actually tastes almost like black pudding.
Yeah.
Like boiled congealed blood, if you can believe that.
And how many times when you were a kid, when you fell off your bike, and a couple of days later you were there doing this, and your mum would go, scabs.
No, that's what you drank Lucasade for, to fix stuff. You know, your leg fell off, you drank Lucasade, everything's fine.
Always Lucasade,
you remember Lucasade in a glass bottle wrapped in yellow plastic.
Yellow foil.
The net. Remember the net?
Yeah.
Net. It's got dots on the outside. You grip it, isn't it? It's got like a grip.
When you're falling.
Ribbed for more pleasure. But yeah.
Ribbed. I was going to say
that. I remember when we were in Scouts in the early 90s, and we'd go on trips, you know, like high adventure trips. And, you know, we'd go to we go to Scotland for a week of camping, or we'd go on a hike through Salisbury Plains or something like that. We would always, when we would hit the villages and be able to stock up at like a newsagent or something, we would always challenge each other as kids, because we were like 13. We would get like a bottle of Lucasade and one of those packages of dextrose energy tablets, like the
dextrose.
Hold it up to the max,
And you'd eat them and just down the Lucasade. It was like Beavis going into like sugar shakes.
Yeah.
And then you tear off for the next marker. Yeah.
Do you lads recall Kendall mint cake?
Kendall mint cake. Kendall,
Same thing. Pure sugar.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Twang.
That was a question I was going to ask Shabby, Dean, and Michael. Was there anything you miss from the UK? So, covered it.
Bakewell tarts. I don't have to think about that. Warburton's bread. I mean, no offense, Michael. Your bread over here, Dean. The bread over here. It's just so bad.
Shabby, there is nothing you can say about where we are that's going to offend me.
Oh, okay.
I would say, what do I miss? Double deckers, anything really made by Cadbury's, but double deckers especially. Mr. Whippy, I love a Mr. Whippy cone. I live for them, and I haven't. Mr. Whippy. Having museums that actually are nearby that have interesting stuff in them. Especially the air shows and the air museums. I miss those immensely. And this is not a joke. I miss the weather.
I do.
I love rainy days, and I love overcast days. And so that's just where I function better. I miss the music. I know the music's changed since then, but like that music, Kylie, the KLF, all that stuff, that was all just the best. I even missed things I didn't know that I missed out on. So like now I figured out a few years ago that I missed out on the entire career of Sophie Ellis-Bextor, and I'm catching up on that.
Amazing.
So like there's a lot. I miss a lot about Welsh rarebit, bacon savories.
Welsh rarebit on toast, beautiful.
Cornish pasties.
Oh no, I don't want to hear this anymore. I'm going to start trying.
I miss a good meat pie.
Yeah,
those are always good.
Bourbons, custard creams, proper meat potato pie. I say custard, but good old Dino sorted me out with the custard. That was good of him.
I mean, the UK is a hideous place at the moment, but what you've mentioned is just then is just worth. Still staying here. Yeah.
Well, it's like George in the chat. George just sent me and Scuba a package, and he's put Monster Munch in it. I've not had Monster Munch in about 12 years. Oh, George, man, I've got some cabinets for you, Shabby, and I'll put some more. And I was like, George, man, that's awesome. Do you know what I mean? Hula hoops, Steve.
Who does it get? Pickled on your Monster Munch is the best bag snack known to mankind.
It's fine.
Yeah, you just get a bag of pickled onion monster and your mouth starts going before you open it, because you know you're going to get that sharp. You're going to get that sharp. So
every year from 1991 to 1993, once a year I would go into W.H. Smith. And these were the cassettes that I walked out with once a year, every year. And I'll never I will never forget being in Edinburgh, Scotland, and seeing this poster all over the Athena Records and W.H. Smith, all the music stores in the window. And that was like that was the last album that she put out before I had to leave.
I've actually seen Kylie twice, and the second time was the Showgirl tour in Manchester, and she came on. She came on in a shell suit and a frizzy 80s curly hair, singing "I Should Be So Lucky, Lucky, Lucky." That was the first song she did, and then she slipped down a hole, and then she came up on another part of the stage. Literally 5 seconds later, and she was dressed in like a showgirl with feathers. It took me about 10 years to realise that I Should Be So Lucky. It wasn't Kylie at all. It was somebody else.
It was Dave. We went, who?
It was Stephen Dennis in a shell suit.
Scampy fries.
Yeah. Boss found it as well. Boss sent me a packet of sausage roll crisps, and I was like, what? Sausage roll crisps? They were double nice.
Yeah, I OD'd on those over Christmas.
Yeah, I've never had them before. Boss sent some over, bless him. I was like, these are all
in the States, because on Tuesday I went to Tesco's, and the girls in there are stocking the shelves with Christmas food, mince pies that go out of date on November the 29th.
Oh my god,
that's just insane. It's barely September, and they're putting Christmas food in the shops. Does that happen in the States?
Big time.
We have Halloween stuff out already.
Already, so that was July.
Well, mince pies, and Christmas pudding.
Whether you like Kylie or not, you can't take away from that woman's career. I mean, everybody likes Kylie, don't they? You can't not like Kylie.
Kylie is the Madonna you don't have to be embarrassed by.
Yeah.
Like she's literally like, could we invent a Madonna level pop star that isn't an embarrassment? Kylie Minogue. Like that's literally exactly.
Does Kylie?
And the thing is, we grew up with Kylie, didn't we, lads? She's been with us since 87, 88. So we're big fans of Kylie.
I was going to do. I don't know if probably Michael. Probably out a bit of the fad was over then. Did you ever watch Neighbours when you were in the UK?
I was very aware of Neighbours. A lot of times because I went to school in London, a lot of times when I would have to take the train back to Surrey every night, we would have like play rehearsal and stuff because I was in the drama club or whatever. Awesome. Not a shock, right? And I was in the dorkiest stuff. But anyway, we would get home so late that Neighbours would already have run. Like it was already over. We would be home by like 8:30, 9 o'clock, stuff like that. So I would miss it a lot of the time. But I was very aware of it. As a matter of fact, I have from the UK, I have the two Neighbours DVD sets that were focused on Kylie. So I have those two volumes that came out.
Because the summer of 80, I think it was 86. In the summer holidays, you had like they'd show like Thundercats in the morning and maybe Transformers, and then they sometimes put like an old-fashioned British movie on, and then at like 10 o'clock, 10:30, Neighbours came on, and as kids we were like, "What? Australia? This is amazing! They look so beautiful, and they've got." And then we went back to school. And then Neighbours was still showed. We were all back at school. Neighbours was still showed at 1:30 after the news.
Right.
And we were all back at school, and people started skiving school to watch.
Right. So they had to change it, didn't they? Yeah.
And then the BBC were like, "Hold on a minute, we've got all these children are skiving school to watch Neighbours. We need to show it at 1:30 in the afternoon, and then they'll start showing it at 5:30 after BBC Kids TV."
There's a funny story about that. The whole reason it's like a Back to the Future dilemma. You know how in Back to the Future they always have a plot where it's like, if we do this, then we save ourselves, but we could break the future. We have to be careful, right? So Michael Grade, who was the controller at the BBC One at that point, he was the guy that was responsible for getting Doctor Who pulled off TV.
He pulled off. He didn't like it.
But he was also the guy that got Neighbours moved to 5 o'clock. Because he found out that his daughter was skipping classes with her friends to watch Neighbours in the media room. So you sit there and you go, well, if I went back in time and stopped Michael Grade from becoming the BBC controller, I would save Doctor Who. But I would also prevent Kylie Minogue from becoming a superstar. The Michael French dilemma. What do I do? Yeah. You know? So then I look at my DeLorean and I go, "Oh, would have made such a great Back to the Future 4." No, whatever. So
brilliant. We all need to know what Madge and Harold were doing. That's what it was, Tez. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Henry, Harold, Madge. Yeah. Back off, bouncer.
Yeah, come on, Tez. Yeah, no, Tez joke tonight. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm always when I do dad jokes, I'm always in the chat on another person's stream. I can't do it live.
Oh right, well,
I can't do it live.
Sorry.
Jeez, Matthew.
God. Yeah, I can't do it live. Thanks,
well, someone thinks you look like Jason. There you go.
I've had this Jason. I mean, I'm not, because Jason's got more hair than me. But I literally in '89, I was having like.
Oh, there he is. Tez. There he is. There's Ted signing his deck chair on holiday last week.
I've had it all my life, and I could be what? I could be compared to somebody else, like Keith Chegwin,
Cheggers,
Timmy Mallet. I don't know. Talking of which,
oh, he's up again. Oh, what's he again?
Oh yeah, they keep. Oh, fantastic.
Nice. This is so old. It's on Betamax.
It's like a medal of honor, Tez. A medal of honor.
Yeah, our school beat Grimsby School by 1 point and won Cheggers Space Pop on TV.
Nice.
I met Fat Boy Slim that day. He was the piano player from the House Martin.
House Martin. I used to love the House Martin.
I didn't have anything to sign. He signed my arm. I didn't wash my arm for about 2 weeks. Who's Norman Cook? I don't know.
Oh, brilliant.
Check, space pop.
So what are you guys? I am curious. I wanted to ask this during the show at some point, and now that it's coming to me, I just don't want to forget.
Yeah.
What is the one piece that each of you guys are looking for right now? Is there one piece that each of you guys are hunting for?
I'm always after a vintage Star Wars vintage. There's very little I need. It's
right.
Yeah.
It's probably a vintage land a sandcrawler.
Yeah, we all have a sandcrawler.
I've got the cardboard one and the Droid Factory. I'd always fancied because I've got the Palatoy Death Star. I feel as always needed the Kenner Death Star battle station.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
would
would like to find a Robo Skull on a car boot, but it's never going to happen.
Oh yeah.
You never know, Matt. You never know, mate. You never know.
Yeah,
you want a Robo Skull? What? Like, I know what a Robo Skull is, but then you said something after it, which I didn't understand.
I want to find it like at a car boot. Sorry, like
car boot.
Car boot.
Yeah, sorry.
I literally didn't understand the words you said. I know what a car boot sale is.
I'd just love to find one.
You want to get Baz to look for you in Scotland? He can find bloody anything up there. Baz. I was action for £1. I couldn't believe.
Oh yeah, he found it. He found a sea lion, didn't he, for £1? The sea lion.
Wow.
With the cockpit still on it. I was like, what?
Canopy was on it. The 2 side pods are on it. It's like, oh. To
me, I think I want. Well, it's my birthday next month, so I know I'm getting it anyway. But I want that Castle Grayskull so bad. I want that. I do. Yeah. I just love it. You know, I've got Shiraz Castle up there, but I just want the new modern Castle Grayskull will do me.
It's really nice. I mean to do a video on it soon. Now, after you get Castle Grayskull, what's your next quest?
Right, I was talking to Holocron. Well, not talking to Holocron. They're putting out grails. I've never had ever. I've got, like what Tess said, I've got practically most of the vintage Star Wars, but I've never had a B-wing. So I'd like to have a look at a vintage B-wing. See what a vintage B-wing's like.
I've got 2 Shabby.
I know they're yours. I mean, I want to find one. See if I can find one. I've never held a B-wing ever. Do you know what I mean?
Haven't you?
I wouldn't say it was a grail because it was always the Imperial Shuttle that Baldry, bless him, sent one of them. Yeah. But it's something that it wasn't until I was talking to Hollow Chronicles, and like I said, they brought up this thing, and I thought, I've never had a B-wing, vintage B-wing ever. So I'd like to see if I can find one of them.
Yeah.
What about you, Dean? Sorry, Tess. Go ahead, Tess.
I could send you. I've just sent a package to your brother. I could have.
I know. Don't be that. No, I'll find one. Don't worry.
Anyway, sorry, Dean. Go on then.
So, what's this like? What am I looking for?
Yeah. What's your next conquest? Yeah.
Well, it depends because right now, if I was in my perfect location, I want my perfect BMX bike. But because I'm not in my perfect location, what I want for my collection, probably maybe a m.a.s.k Batman figure.
Okay.
Nice.
From the 70s, I think.
70s. Oh yeah, vintage Dave's got.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah. But
is there a Hot Toys Joker to go with your Batman and Robin bikes?
I don't believe so. No.
Oh right. Oh,
so, as things stand, I think the most desirable item would be that m.a.s.k Batman and Robin from the 70s.
Okay, with the mittens.
Yeah.
Oven gloves.
Yeah, the oven gloves. Yeah.
That's the other thing I would like, knowing about Dean and especially Reynolds as well. I'd like the Condor, the m.a.s.k Condor. I loved that vehicle as a kid. The neon green helicopter. Oh, and it turned into a bike. Oh man. I was having a look. I watched your videos and I look at them. The prices are not shabby prices. I'll definitely say that, but they're awesome.
Yeah.
I think you might be lucky and find one, Mark. I think you will.
Yeah. You never know.
Yeah.
At least you're not like you're not asking for one of the rare split seconds vehicles from the last wave. So the Condors at least are plentiful.
Yeah.
You'll be able to get one. Yeah.
Well, what about you? What are you looking for, Michael?
Me? Space. I'm looking. Some of the things that I really want, I've seen the prices on them, and I just have to mentally divorce myself from those collections. So, like for example, there was a great toy line that went under various names in the early 2000s. It was 21st Century Toys. It was also called Motor Works. It was called Ultimate Soldier. And they made 3 3/4 inch scale with action figures, true to scale World War II fighter planes.
Right.
And,
wow.
And I have a few of them from back in the day when they were, $29.99 at Walmart. But they made different paint schemes for them, and I found that out later. I didn't know. So there was a whole range of Spitfires that were all done up in different deco, depending on the different era part of the war. So like I have hanging in here in my studio the Battle of Britain Spitfire chasing a Messerschmitt 109E. But I don't have the later decos that are, mid-war, like 1942 green camo, and then the D-Day stripes is one, and there's another one where you look up underneath and it's got all black on one part, all white on the other underside of the wing. They made all these different decos based on real pilots' Spitfires. But when you look at the prices and you find them, they're like hundreds of dollars each. Like you're talking $400, $500 each, and I'm going, there's like 4 or 5 of these, and I can't drop $2,000-$3,000 to get a few plastic airplanes to hang in a studio. I can't do it. So I just kind of have to look at them and go, oh, and then, So.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, I've got 4 children, so you're like, some of the stuff you're like, oh, you'd love to get older, but some money in it, you've got to hold back.
And there's like another one. It's they did a P-40 Warhawk, like the Flying Tigers, which I have that one. But they did one in the Malta, North Africa RAF deco. And I'm like, how did I not know about that? And that one also goes for like $400, $500, $600 when you find it. And it's like, forget it. I can't. I just
Britons, I love those. I love those things.
I know Britons as a company because I collected their Knights of the Sword.
They did spaceships interconnect and little.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Green and yellow. Oh, check them out, Mike. You'll love them. Awesome toy.
My brother. See this thing. My brother. He got really into when we were over there and everything. We both role played a lot, like Dungeons and Dragons and Star Wars role playing and stuff like that. Warhammer, things like that. Well, Jonathan, that became his thing because he was 2 years younger than me. So that's my stuff here. His thing like that is the role playing stuff. So when we got of age and we were divvying everything up, he let me have the toys to put with my stuff because like all the He-Man stuff was his and the Thundercat stuff was his.
Yeah.
And I said, here, you can have all of my role-playing books and stuff to go with your library. And as part of that, he said, can I have your Knights of the Sword figurines? Because they look like role-playing miniatures and they're medieval. And I said, sure. Well, now that I'm doing this video channel, I really would love to have that tin of figurines again to talk about that line. And I asked him one day, I said, hey, do you know where my Knights of the Sword are? He goes, oh, they're packed away somewhere. I haven't seen those in decades. And I'm like, oh, man. So, yeah, it's the whole thing. Yeah.
Do you know what's holding my laptop up? Sorry, I always do this. Sorry, Dean.
Oh, yeah.
I've got loads of these.
I had a ton of those, and 2 years back,
there we go.
Going back to the UK to my parents' house, I had to give away so many to charity.
Oh,
It still hurts, but I'm hoping whoever paid £2 for that 1970s annual enjoys it.
Yeah.
I
recently, I remember back in 1980 there was the 2000th edition, and it was one of those which I kept, and the 4000th edition came out last year, and it's just nice to have that range. But it's struggle. There'll be no struggles now because it's kids will not sort of relate to Dennis the Menace, and
I mean, Dandy and Beano, Asterix, Tintin, they were cemented in our childhood, weren't they? All 4 of those books cemented. I can't think of one childhood memory I did not read one of those books. I loved all Asterix and Obelix and Tintin, and then Tintin books were amazing. Those comic books were amazing.
Oh, Dean's got that. Oh, I've got that one. Hold on, let's have a look.
But
here we go.
£2.75.
Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah, and then Dean, you go back
that cost
to
me 12 pence as a kid.
Yeah, look at this one. Issue 2000.
Yeah, how much?
8p.
Okay, let me try the 8p. Give me 1 second.
I've got a 4p one.
Did you have money left for Mr. Freeze?
Yes, by Mojo.
I got you. Tez.
Oh, I'll raise your 2p.
No,
he's gonna get hate me, isn't he?
Tez, you said 8p. 8p.
Go on, show Dean.
7p.
Yeah, no, show Dean's. Matt, come on.
Sorry,
Matt.
I'm just doing something.
Yeah.
Come on, Matt.
How much is that?
Trying to reply to something.
Oh, I'll raise your 7p. Show me big, Matt. Show me big.
All right.
Show me big. Show me big.
Hang on.
Oh, okay.
4D, which is like
4D.
4 shillings.
4 shillings.
Oh, this one was 20p.
President chips.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've got this as well. This was the original notebook, and then Josh started writing poetry in it.
Oh no!
Like what?
I'll just say to Tim Bospatty, I'm not going tomorrow. I've got family stuff to sort out. So
what's happening tomorrow?
What's tomorrow?
Sandown
Toy Fair. Yeah.
Yeah. I said to you, family stuff.
The toy division lads going to it.
Oh yeah, there's going to be loads of people there.
Yeah.
Scott's going to be there. We had on last show, and I think BOE might be going. He was rumored he was going. So
what do they call car boot sales in the States? Is it just
flea markets, isn't it? Flea
markets.
Hey,
yeah,
Ted, do you remember them? Dean, do you remember them?
Oh, the licorice.
Bellamy's.
Licorice, yeah.
The licorice.
Oh, look at this. Oh,
well,
nice one, Dean.
No, but Shabby, here's the deal. In England, licorice. In Scotland, licorice.
Licorice? Is it?
Licorice.
I want to talk about Doctor Who.
Yeah, there we go. Tom Baker.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Brilliant.
If some of you were reading the Twitter the other day when you guys announced this stream, you might already know the answer to this, but I have it sitting here. Whovians, vintage Whovians might know what this is.
Yeah.
Tom Baker Owl. Is it Tom Baker?
No, it's Sarah Jane's.
Yes,
Sarah Jane's.
Yes.
It's Sarah Jane's owl from the very end in Hand of Fear, where she leaves the TARDIS. She has this owl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And someone made that for you, didn't they?
Yeah.
Someone made that.
This is made by Alresford Crafts Limited in England. Yep.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a Womble, Tess?
I've got an original 1978 Womble Uncle Bob.
Nice.
Yes.
It's my wife, that one. Yeah.
The Wombles of Wimbledon Commodore Wii.
Yeah.
Picked up trash, right?
Yeah, that's what they did.
They picked up trash. Wow.
Oh, well.
Okay, guys, we've done 2 hours and nearly 20 minutes.
Wow.
So,
oh man, I've loved this. These two lads. Thank you so much for coming on, both of you. Loved it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I just like hanging out with you guys and Dean. That's all I care about.
Thanks, Michael.
Dean's awesome.
We love our Dean. We love him.
When's your next stream? Because you want to get back in. I need to get back into streaming.
I'm thinking about getting back into it, but I'm just not sure because
we love it. We love it.
It's a lot of stress and.
I'll come on with you. I'll come on. We'll sing. We'll sing for 2 hours.
The thing is, though, not through my fault, but I have made a lot of enemies in this whole landscape.
Good.
And I know it's good. But
we'll stick up for you.
Really?
Yeah.
But I just want to have a good time. I don't want the BS comments flying in, which I've had recently.
Sad. Very sad.
Very uneducated idiots who follow a certain person, Shabby Shay. I don't want that coming into my streams, but whatever,
Yeah, just need to make some moderators.
It doesn't have to come into your stream. It doesn't have to. Yeah, you just disregard it, and you know what? I find that people who are on these streams who love the channel they're on, they will police that. They will.
Well, I'll say in front of everybody, I am a proud supporter of all things 80s. Proud supporter.
Yeah. Well, we all are because we've got Dean on it. So
I have some ideas for streams that will involve you guys, and I'd like to do it. And I just don't want the stress of arseholes coming on and spouting their negative BS.
If you trust me with a wrench, Dean, I'll deal with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I want to say, not all toys should float. Sorry.
Yes.
You know what? I have just messed up tonight. I apologize. Dean, if you trust me with a spanner.
Of course.
A spanner, yeah. That's why we all went.
Oh, yeah.
Give us all spanners.
Yeah.
In a message, you are the last person I would ever accuse of doing anything bad.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in my zeal. Why are you blocking that guy? Well, he said that such and such was the color red, and yesterday, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
it's burgundy.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of love in the chat for you, Dean. There's a lot of love in chat. So.
I will say this though: when people come after my wife or Tony's wife, that is off limits.
Yeah, no, we're on your side.
That is not cool.
Yeah.
No, I tell you what, I'd go mental. You're more above than I am.
Ape shit bonkers, I think, are the word.
Oh, number one export. Oh, actually, no, that's haggis or iron brew, but I think we ended with them.
Third, maybe.
And Dean, also very. I've not spoken to you on a stream, but I think I've messaged you. But very commendable on comparing what was in the charts in '84 to what was. Oh my God! Hats off to you, sir. Well done. Well, that's a passion of mine, man. Jesus,
that was eye-opening to think that kids who are now 14, 15 years old think what is being sold to them is good music is highly offensive.
No flair, no music. There's no music in music anymore.
There's no music. And to think that kids worship that stuff and they buy it, they put it number one. For example, the past week, Iron Maiden made number 2 in the UK charts.
Yeah.
But someone called Drake made number 1.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of effort made to produce the album, Maiden win like 100 to 1. This guy, Drake, mumbled over some pre-made beats, right? Like, Iron Maiden are guys in their 60s, almost 70s, who have honed their craft. They have done this for decades, and they still cannot obtain number 1. That right there tells you there's a problem with the music scene in the UK and the worldwide, for that matter.
It's awful.
It's terrible.
All these dead legends, Elvis should be spinning around at 100 miles an hour in his grave.
God.
It's awful.
I tell you what, though.
If John Lennon was alive, oh my God.
You just sound like old men, all of you. You just sound like old men. Listen to you. You know what I mean? There's nothing like a bit of Nicki Minaj.
It's what our dads and our granddads used to say about our music. I can't even know this isn't music. But this isn't the stuff that's going on now. Isn't music? There's no flair. There's no rhythm. There's nothing. There's just nothing.
But Tez, you know what's fascinating about that? And it's a direct one-to-one on parody. Dean is talking about Iron Maiden's new album that's just come out, number 2, right? Kylie's also still making albums regularly. So both of them in their own lanes are still making music that is better than contemporary artists that are just coming in.
Yeah.
And, I hear about things like, oh, there's this new artist named Dua Lipa or something. And I'm like, okay. And then I go and I'm like, and then or like, the Nickelback thing where it's like, oh, what about Nickelback? I know Nickelback's old now, but at the time it was new metal. It was new metal. And now it's like, everyone's like,
and they're always playing on my lawn. Bugger off. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not saying they're all bad. Like I even admitted on a live stream the other day, there is one Nickelback song I actually like. But what I'm saying is that it's kind of like when you go and you see a new Star Wars movie. You see a new Star Wars movie, when you walk out, you talk about moments you liked, and you realize, remember when we used to talk about how we loved the whole movie, and now we just talk about like, oh, I like this one.
I remember those days.
Yeah. Sequence. Yeah.
So,
okay, on that note, we're going to finish, guys. So thank you,
everyone.
Dean. Thank you, Michael, for coming on.
And thank you to some new. So there's been some new names in the chat, so I appreciate that.
Thank you, everyone, for coming to the chat.
Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it a lot.
Absolutely enjoyed it this evening. Yeah.
So on that note, we're going to say wave and say goodbye. So
fantastic.
We're going to go now. So cheerio, everyone. Cheerio.